This is episode 110, and we are bringing you a full episode today. We have lots to get to. We have the kind of a recap of the first week or so of free agency. A lot of movement going on, just new players everywhere. It was a really exciting free agency period this time, which was pretty cool. We just have quite a bit to discuss on that, and then we're going to get a little bit into the draft. We have the combine is now complete, so that's ready to rock. So we have all that, and that's going to allow us to do a first round mock on this draft, or on this podcast, which we haven't done yet. So that'll be exciting. And then using the landing spots from that draft, we will then do a first round rookie mock as asked by the Lambs GM James Seafood today. I was like, what a great idea! Let's just get it all out in one shot. So, Sean, you ready for a big one?
When James asks, we deliver. I mean, we have to break down. I mean, we're going to have to spend the first hour breaking down the Sandy Dalton trade, Eric. We have
big one today. Really big one. A lot of fantasy implications. I don't know how we're going to get through this episode just with that alone. I mean, that's going to be, like you said, an hour and a half minimum. So, but we do have on the reel, we have a lot to get to on all the positions. We're going to talk about basically the quarterbacks, receivers, tight ends, and running backs. And their movement in the draft or in the free agency period. So much news. So I honestly think we should just get right into this, Sean. We have so much to get to. Let's just start off right at the top. We will start with the free agency period. So I just need to add a scene here to get our Windows screen shared up. And let's see, screen. I understand that it's my device can handle it apparently. And screen 2. There we go. Okay. So we are set. So we're going to start with the quarterback movement starting at the bottom of the list. So basically this is going in order in which they signed on the start of free agency. So basically we're going to go through each position group, kind of talk about the notable ones for our fantasy league specifically, and maybe leave out the Tommy DeVitos of the world and things like that. So how to reach these kids. So we must start at the top here with Daniel Jones. He is back to the Colts. Obviously on March 3rd, he signed that transition tag, or was put on the transition tag by the Colts. But then later on, a rework deal was accomplished by them. The Colts basically giving him a 2-year, $44 million deal for 88 total. So he basically gets guaranteed money of 50 million of that. So it's basically a 2-year 50 essentially. Sean, I feel like this was kind of like the only move they could have made. Like there wasn't really a lot of other options, it felt like, and he played well enough to warrant getting another shot. Obviously, they had to pay a big price tag to see that second season of Daniel Jones, and obviously with the injury. But I mean, this team kind of felt like a little bit pigeonholed into this signing. Like they almost had no other choice.
Who were they bidding against?
That's a really good point because, like, I mean, there wasn't really anybody else that was overly interested. It felt like, but they also couldn't really be interested if they were on the tag.
And right? Why? Like, is signing Daniel Jones off an Achilles and not like just hardballing him into like seeing what other offers are out there compared to like going after Kyler Murray for $1.3 million? Like something like that. Like there's just something that does not compute to me with all that. Like I think they just got it in their head that the first 8 games were the only tape that mattered last year for Daniel Jones and the other guy. But I mean, breaking your leg and then tearing your Achilles, like I have no expectations for him to be a good quarterback next year at all. Like I would be shocked considering how much his mobility matters for his game. I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, it's feeling like one of these ones that's not going to work out. Like like my gut is telling me that this is going to look like a bad idea come next year. And the fact that they basically can't get out either. So it's basically the 2-year deal, but they're going to give up 35 million dead cap if they cut him after next year. So it's basically like he's going to be there 2 years. That being said, the Colts have been just dying for anybody with competency at the quarterback position. So I think that's where this kind of came from.
Yeah, they're just lost in the quarterback wilderness the last few years, and if they had competency before this happened, I just feel like they don't make this move, and that's
like this would not be like a team that's had good quarterback success in recent years would not have been doing this. That, like you said, like even like the Vikings, like they wouldn't do something like this probably. So they didn't. They basically went away from Sam Darnold last year in the same situation almost, except for the injury. But like it was kind of a similar situation. So
yeah,
I mean,
you combine not having a quarterback for so long, and then teams watching Sam Darnold leave and then win a Super Bowl. I can see how you
the
get
logic
there,
makes sense. Yeah.
but one does not equal the other to me. Like every situation's unique. I just couldn't have gotten there. I would have played hardball and said, okay, what other offers are out there for you off an Achilles tear?
Yeah. And
That's
I
just
think
me.
like that's probably why his number for guaranteed is 60 instead of 88. Like I mean, it's basically a 2-year, $30 million a year deal essentially, which kind of adds up for a guy like him. Like he's not being paid in top in guaranteed money. He's not getting paid, in the top 12, I think. So like he's where he should be probably. But like you said, like we saw like what 6 or 7 good games, and that's all we got. And it was a nice, run for them. But that team kind of fell apart too at the end of the year. And obviously with him being out, that was a huge piece of it. But like you said, I think this all comes down to they kind of just like, oh my God, we have a competent quarterback, we need to keep him, and which is sad. That's where they're at. So fantasy wise, like you said, I feel like the rushing piece of the puzzle there with the Achilles tear is probably not going to be the same. So that kind of hurts a little bit from that standpoint. But I mean,
I think we're doing 6 weeks of Riley Leonard to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, because he did it so late in the season, like it would be pretty surprising if he started game one. That's for sure. So anyway, we can move on to another quarterback signing here. So we had the Dak Prescott signing bonus, contract extension for Tommy DeVito, 2-year, 4.4 with New England. Hey, at least he's getting work. I love that. Tyler Huntley backing up.
Snoop.
Yeah, backing up Lamar again. Ellinger backing up Knicks. And then we had Malik Willis sign a 3-year, $67 million deal with Miami. Felt like honestly like a move that I like this move. Like I feel like this is a good move. Like all things considered, like they needed somebody to command the tank. I mean, that's basically where we're at. And like if he ends up being good, then awesome. You have a quarterback, and if he ends up sucking, you've had a successful tank. Yeah. So it's like I kind of don't hate it at all. His cap hit is very low, and they can essentially get out of it after 2 years with only 13 mil of dead cap. Like it seems like a great contract for
13 mil
Miami.
dead cap to the Dolphins is nothing. What are they paying? It's like 175.
I thought it was like 115 for this year. It was dead, and it might be even more than that now. It's like them and the Saints are like neck and neck. One of them has like 112, and the other has 115. It's so bad.
Insane. Yeah,
but I like everything that Miami has done so far. Like let's just wreck this thing, and I respect them for finally doing this, because like as Vince knows and everybody that's watched the Dolphins, it's always been this like half-baked version of a rebuild. Like, oh, we'll retool and we'll try to get better, and if you're gonna fire McDaniel and go that route, like this is the only logical thing. Is let's tear down the coach, the GM, everything. Like I still don't believe in this coaching staff, as we kind of have mentioned in our group chat, but like that doesn't even matter for like these 2 years. I feel like it's like you almost want them to be terrible, so that way in a couple of years when you have the quarterback and you have some new pieces, then you can kind of drop them into a better situation. Because like realistically, if you're a coach in these coaching cycles and you see the situation that they're in now, or the situation that they're basically facing, which is why Jeff Hafley is probably the coach, it's not a very desirable spot to be in, considering like all the dead cap and there's no quarterback. Like this is kind of the best they could do, all things considered.
You think they told Hafley what was going to happen when he signed, or before?
They had to. There had to be a plan that of some kind between him and the gyms. Like this is what's going to happen. Like And I think Halfley is lucky to even have a head coaching job, to be honest. I don't think
Agreed. Yeah.
he should be head coach. So like for him, he's probably like, shit, I'll just be the head coach. I'll take your money. That's fine. And then if I eventually get fired, I'll go back to being a DC. I don't care.
Yeah. He's not like, I wouldn't say he's like failing forward, but like going from Boston College that was not
He was
what you would
terrible.
call a renowned college
No,
football program to a
no.
DC in the NFL to a team that hit, like, frankly, for the draft capital that was in that defense, I probably underachieved.
Felt like it.
So I mean, it's hard to say that when Micah Parsons tears his ACL halfway through the year, but
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. I like, how is, not that Brian Flores is going to get hired by the Dolphins, but like, how is Halfley a head coach and Brian Flores isn't, blows my mind.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's the other pieces of the puzzle with Brian Flores, but like, I don't know. I'm not confident in the Miami coaching staff, but I do like what they're doing here, and I think Malik Willis as a fantasy asset now becomes interesting because he is going to run. He is going to be a valuable quarterback to have. So yeah, I think it'll be very nice for his fantasy stock. Trubisky is going to be a backup for Cam Ward. Marcus Mariota is going to be the backup to Jaden Daniel again. Keenum is going to back up Caleb Williams. Gardner Minshew gets honestly a bigger deal than I kind of expected. That like he didn't do anything last year. I think he was hurt or something, and he somehow gets like kind of a above average backup money. But like right now, he's gonna probably start at this point. I mean, I don't like. I don't know.
They already called Brissett the starter.
Oh, okay, so at least he's involved in the competition, maybe, but like he's not really.
I think it's just because they're not paying anything in the quarterback room. They're just like, all right, we can pay more for baseline competency and an amazing head of hair. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he like you said, he's a vibes guy. Additionally, like this kind of basically doesn't pigeonhole them into taking a quarterback this year as just to fill out the roster. So which is probably a good thing, and because they don't need to be taking one at 3. Obviously, we'll talk about that later.
I mean, they're on the march for Arch. Is what we're saying.
There's a lot of teams that are interested in Arch Manning services. It's gonna be a crazy next year. Teddy Bridgewater backup, Kyle Allen backup. Then we had Geno Smith get traded to the New York Jets, going home, as they might say, for basically a pick swap. And I mean, Geno's gonna play, it seems like at this point, unless something crazy happens.
Do you think he remembers his time in New York from before, or did the punch just kind of give him amnesia and now he's back?
Honestly, like for his sake, I hope he forgot it because it was so bad. I mean, those eras of Jets football were so bad. It's so bad. It frankly hasn't gotten any better. I think the last time they made the playoffs was like 15 years ago. Like it's been so long.
Yeah. I actually love that trade for them. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean, like there's no risk.
Like whatever happened in Vegas last year was just all, like, for me, I'm gonna blame that more on coaching, considering
nothing went right.
I've seen Geno Smith be a good quarterback the last few years. So it's not all on them. Like, Geno threw a lot of picks last year, but I have faith that that's actually a pretty good move. I've liked a lot of what the Jets have done this offseason, which is terrifying. But
yeah. Well, they're just like they're restoring a competency, at least like with some of the players they're bringing in. Like obviously, like Geno Smith has some experience. Demario Davis, I like that signing for them. Just like you got to have some leadership to get things like righting the ship at least. Minkah Fitzpatrick as well. Like let's get some players that know what it's like to actually like be good, so the way you can help the younger players. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. Still don't think they're gonna be any good, but you know, at least like if you look at it on paper, like the Jets should be a decent team on offense, like like realistically.
I agree.
So we'll have to see if it ends up panning out. Anyway, we'll keep moving. A bunch of voiding and salary cap gymnastics, and then we had Cousins and Kyler both get cut as post June 1 cuts, and the Bucks bring in Jake Browning as a backup. Sam Howell is going to back up Prescott. Tua then got cut, which was an interesting one as well, because all that dead cap. And then Kyler signs for a $1.3 million deal with Minnesota, which, I mean, he's gonna start. Like, there's no way he's
100%. Yeah,
like they don't bring him in to not start.
I don't even think McCarthy is on this roster to start the year.
That's crazy. I mean,
Tell me who says no in this trade. JJ McCarthy for Anthony Richardson, straight up.
I kind of like it.
Right?
I don't
Everybody
hate
gets
it.
a change of scenery.
I mean, they're both
Let's say
first
that.
round picks with first round money and capital involved. It's just like, hey, let's both each like get a free, clean slate, and let's just see what happens. Like,
Kevin O'Connell famously talking to Anthony Richardson after a game a couple years ago, saying keep
yeah, I
your head
saw
on.
that clip recently as well.
He's in.
I mean, that would be a fun one at least because, like, they truly both need like some reset in some way.
Yeah.
So and they're both like both have good offensive coaches to work with too. So like, I mean, maybe just truly is a scenery switch. But for Kyler, he obviously gets dropped into a very competent offense, a great coach, good weapons to throw to, just a good offense overall. So, I mean, I like it for Kyler. I don't know how much I love it for, the Vikings in general, because I don't know if Kyler is really all that good. But for a 1-year deal, like, let's just see what we get, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of better options.
And say goodbye to the middle of the field. Anybody that runs to the middle of the field.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Hawkinson's dead basically.
Well, he was already.
He was kind of dead before, but he's even more dead now. He's really dead now.
But I mean, sorry, compared to last year, Jefferson's probably loving life. So anything is better than last year.
Yeah, literally cannot be better or worse than last year. So then we had Tua signed for another league minimum deal, basically to compete with picks next year. Kind of feels fine. Like I have no problem with that either for the Falcons. Like I mean, I still think Tua's probably just really a backup at this point.
But I gotta tell you, I think he might win that job.
I think there's a really good shot. Yeah.
He does exactly what Stefanski wants you to do, which is get the ball out fast and play with the RPO, and like he handles the ball well considering all of the fast stuff that they did in Miami. Penix is just a slow delivery out, long developing shit, and it's just the complete opposite of what Stefanski I think looks for. So it's going to be gross when this happens, but my guess would be the Tua is going to end up starting.
I mean, I feel like that would also be like just good for Penix in general. Again, like let's like maybe sit for a little while, recover from the injury as well, and then kind of just like let's learn from another lefty quarterback who's kind of been there, done it. Like it does make some sense to just have Tua ride it out for at least a little while until that inevitably isn't enough, and then they have to try Penix again. Then we had Josh Johnson, who's I just can't believe he's still in the league, and I think he's been on like I think he's been on the 49ers 3 different times.
He's been on 22 different rosters, but like 14 teams or something like that.
That's truly unbelievable. Trey Lance got a good backup deal, and then we had Justin Fields get traded from the Jets to Kansas City, which I thought was a nice little backup play for Patrick Mahomes there. He's going to play some games this year.
Yeah, he's going to play. I mean, probably 2, 3, 4 games, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for like a cheap late round pick, like I feel like that's not a bad backup to have. Like there's so many of these quarterbacks that if you go through like the draft history that get taken between rounds like 4 to 7 on day 3 that are just absolute nothing burgers. Like to trade a 6 and get Fields. Like I don't like Fields at all, but like you could do a lot worse as a backup at that get draft capital. And then as we mentioned, the hour-long Andy Dalton's Sean Alkins.
What does this mean for Tanner McKee though?
Yeah, like because everybody loves Tanner McKee. So I like one of these days,
like I don't know if Howie's gonna pull like a fucking day 2 pick out of his hat for Tanner McKee, but that would be nuts.
And I mean that's something that like Howie would do, so it wouldn't totally surprise me. Anyway, let's go into the next position group, which will be the running backs. Which this was a very interesting running back year in the free agency period. Starting at the bottom, Antonio Gibson got cut. No surprise there. He's not good. And then we had Javonte Williams extension, which was 3 years, 24 mil, which obviously really great news if you are a Javonte Williams owner. That's like best case scenario. Played good ball last year, Sean. Played really good ball. The line didn't change really at all. It's only going to get more experience. So I feel like that's good for him. Basically, it's the whole same offense is still there. Same coordinator, same everything.
Should be a top 5 offense. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I feel great about the offense, and Jonte's a huge piece of that, and really took a lot of the goal line work last year, which was huge, just in general for the Cowboys. So love that. Brees Hall got the franchise tag, 1 year, 14 million. Everybody was like really hoping something would happen with him this offseason, Sean. That didn't
Poor guy.
happen. He's just stuck. He's completely stuck. His
But
social media is hilarious.
but he has a relatively competent quarterback and a pretty solid offensive line. So, could be better.
Yeah, I mean, like it can't. Once again, it can't really get worse. Like his numbers with basically no competency at quarterback last year were so good. So I mean, I think he's really can only trend up still. Like he's still like kind of in his prime too. He's hasn't had a major injury in a while. Like this is a good chance for him again to show that he can get a big contract maybe next time around. So we'll see on that one. Then Chris Brooks for the Packers is back on a cheap deal. Obviously, they lost Emmanuel Wilson, who we'll get to in a little bit, but he's probably going to be the backup now. Alvin Kamara cleared some cap space, and then there's more that happened we'll talk about in a minute. Joe Mixon was released. They got rid of $8 million on the cap there.
Yeah, he might be done.
Yeah, I think he's done. Like there wasn't really like any real mention of what happened to him like at any point, and the whole thing feels a lot like Le'Veon Bell. You remember that? Like when he kind of like just faded away and like there's like okay, I guess he's just gone. Like it's like he was really good and then now he's not. So I
I mean,
don't.
you had stories about like Casario talking about like I think he had a surgery. Like he literally said I think in an
Yeah,
interview.
it's almost like he went like AFK, like a Brandon Ayuk situation.
Yeah, fucking
Like he's
wild. I don't know.
just not even no communication, which is so strange. Garrett Patterson on a cheap deal back to the Chargers. Singletary got a pay cut and basically just re-signed at a reduced contract, so he'll be just a depth piece now. Ken Walker gets a 3-year, $43 million deal with Kansas City, a big contract. Obviously, had the huge Super Bowl run, played great football. The deal is basically a 2-year, $28 million deal, essentially. So, which, I mean, seems like a good value for a team that really needed to upgrade the run game.
Very
Um,
much.
it should be a great fit. I really like it for the Chiefs. Fantasy wise, like, how do you feel? Like, where does he kind of slot in now? Knowing that he's going to have a full workload and kind of be the guy at this point. He always had
Very
to share.
very high end RB2.
Yeah, like maybe in that running back like 12 range, something like
Yeah,
that.
I
Feels
think so.
okay.
I haven't done any rankings. I've just been prepping for draft, but like that feels right.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're looking at volume, like he's gonna get it. Like you don't pay a guy $43 million and not give him the ball, so like he's gonna play. But he's always been banged up, so that's always a piece of his like profile. But he should be a really good running back, and that really does help fantasy owners now because they don't have to worry about the vulturing of Zach Charbonnet anymore. So that is a boost to his stock
I mean,
overall.
he just helps that offense. Like they are just desperate need of somebody that can get chunk yards, which is hilarious because of the speed that they have. But
Yeah, you feel like it should be easier for them, like, but it's just not. Like I know it's strange. That brings us into Kenny Gainwell, another Kenny. 2-year, $14 million deal with Tampa. I actually love this signing. This is like one of my favorite signings like the Bucks did all offseason at this point. Really
one of
needed
my
a guy like this.
one of my favorite things that teams do. It's frustrating for fantasy, but like just making your backfield very redundant so that like you never have to worry about your play calling is something that
Right.
I love. And really, there's nothing that you can put on Bucky that you can't put on Gainwell. Like they kind of do similar things. Either of them are amazing in pass pro, but like other than that, like they're kind of the same thing. Bucky's better, but I don't know. You can really just call whatever you want, and they're there.
Yeah, didn't I thought Gainwell's pass pro like numbers were actually pretty good, all things considered.
He's just small.
Yeah, that's
He's
the
like
thing. He's
200,
tiny. Like
so like he doesn't hold up. Like he knows where to be. He just dies fast.
yeah, and I mean like at least in this offense, there's probably not going to be a lot of like Zach Robinson's mostly like a play action type scheme, so like I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities like for him to not really be in that role anyway. So
Mhm.
like I should be seeing a lot of Kenny Gainwell, like you think, doing the same things as Bucky as a true spell, and then he's also giving more value as a kick returner as well because we haven't had shit
Yeah.
for kick returners recently.
Baker's not a statue. He'll get around in the pocket like just fine. As long as you know where to be and you're not just fumbling assignments, I think it's totally fine if he's not that
Yeah,
great.
you just got to get a hat on a hat basically, and just like
Yeah,
just slow the guy
he'll be
down. So
yeah,
I think this is like once again just like a really good signing for the Bucks, like good value too. I didn't really look to see if there's like an out or anything. I don't think there is. But he's still young. He's only like 27, I think. So he just turned 27. So
he doesn't have a lot of carries in his career either. So like it's
no, he's basically been like a backup for the majority of his career, and he was never really like bad. Like every time he got the ball, it's like okay, like he looks pretty good.
his approval rating in Philly is very high. I will tell you that right now.
Yeah.
People thought he should have been on the field more.
And I thought that he played really well when he had opportunities last year with Pittsburgh. So I mean, it was kind of just a good timing signing for both teams. Then you had Tyler Algier signing a 2-year, $12 million deal with Arizona, so it's actually cheaper than Gainwell's, at about $1.5 million there. But Algier now joins the backfield with James Conner, with Trey Benson. Kind of a bit muddy now, kind of like what that all looks like next year. I mean, it's three very like competent like options, I guess you could say.
I just don't think Benson is a factor in that backfield next
I
year.
kind of don't either at this point. I think he might kind of just be like an afterthought at this point, like a third running back.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a guy that'll try and hit a home run, bounce it outside every time, I mean, he's your guy. But
he's always been that way. But yeah, I mean, for Algier, like, I mean, Connor's getting old. Like, he's not being able to be healthy as consistently as he used to. Like, this is kind of a nice insurance signing because I think they do a lot of things well, like similar things together. So like I just don't think they're gonna be a good team at all, and the game scripts are really not going to be great for him.
I mean, the timeline says those two things happened on the same day, and I'm wondering if they were just not expecting Connor to be amenable to the restructure,
Maybe
and now they just got both guys.
that could very well be the case. I mean, realistically, because they needed bodies there anyway because DeMarcado left. So like I feel like they probably just sent like here's the contract. Like if you leave, great. If he stays, then great too. Like we'll make it work either way. But this basically talk about it as it relates to the draft. But this is kind of like I don't want to call it a crowded backfield now, but it's like they have a lot of options at least. Like at least they don't need to flood the position at the draft. We'll put it that way at this point. A more interesting signing though is Travis Etienne getting a 4-year, $47 million deal.
Say it right.
It's H-Han. I'm very sorry. Once again, I can't believe that's how you pronounce it. I didn't know at all. So here we are.
Creole, Haitian Creole. I don't know. Like it's not. I believe him, but I just like why are we just doing this now? I don't.
Yeah, I don't. It's very strange. But we'll call him Travis H-Han. Just like I had to get used to Devon H-Han because it was H-Han for quite a while in the draft process. And
yeah,
then he was like, it's H-Han.
He's just doing the DiCaprio meme right now. He's just pointing at the TV. He's like, wait a second.
That's kind of like I thought at first that it was a joke because it's like like because it's the same way you would say H-Han, but I guess I don't know. Anyway, he signs a $47 million deal with New Orleans, which I thought was a really interesting signing for them. I mean, that's a pretty expensive contract for Travis Etienne, H-Han. Really, it's only a 2-year, $24 million deal if you look at it deeper. They can definitely get out of those last couple of years. So it's not a huge deal on the when you get into the bare bones of it, but I mean he's going to be their starter. He's very obviously it feels like Kamara on the way out at this point in some way or shape or form. It probably is a retirement or something like that. And they don't really have, like as we learned last year, there wasn't a lot of great options once Kamara was not available. Like Devin Neal was fine. He was serviceable. They had to play. Kendre Miller was not great. They just needed an upgrade overall running back position, and this definitely gives it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just calling him Etienne. I'm not going to get into this.
It's hard. It's so hard.
Etienne and Neal actually make sense together because Neal is a very well-rounded 3-down back, is really good in pass pro. So that makes sense. Kamara is probably just donezo. He's either retired or he's on like Denver or something next year with Peyton. I don't like that's all. Those are the only two options I see happening from here.
Yeah. But I mean, for ETN HN owners, this is great for his value because he's going to step into another spot like where it might have been muddy before, not really that muddy here at the current state. And then Kellen Moore has proven that he can get good production out of the running back. So um, I think this is a good spot for him in an ascending offense with Tyler Shuck, which I never thought I would say. Um,
What a phrase.
moving moving into the next deal is J.K. Dobbins, a 2-year, $16 million deal. I thought that was kind of a lot of money for him, to be honest.
I mean, he's good when he plays.
He's very good when he plays. He just doesn't play often. That's the problem. Like, I mean,
that's why you just buy the entire backfield, baby, in Dynasty. That's what we do here.
I mean, it's not the worst idea, especially because they use the running back so much there. Yeah, I mean, like it's a good depth signing. Obviously, behind they have Harvey, but Dobbins was good when he played, and I mean it's kind of a ho hum contract, really, nothing too crazy. Rico Dowdle getting a 2-year, $12 million deal with Pittsburgh. Thought that was a fun landing spot for him. Kind of be a different body type that they've had last year. Realistically, it's a 1-year deal with an easy cap out next year. So I think it's actually a good spot for him, like just overall, because
I agree. But like, how does Seattle not jump on like a Rico? Like he's
like
better than whatever contract he's going to get in free agency for whatever reason.
Of
like,
course, he got less than Kenny Gainwell did.
Like 200-yard games last year.
He was very good, and like he's one of these guys that like you said, he's always going to be cheaper than what he's actually worth. Like so, it's like it feels like if you were on a budget in some way to find a running back to replace the Kenny Walker, like that would be an obvious choice. Like that being said, he goes to a backfield where he's paired with basically a perfect lightning and thunder situation with Jalen Warren. I just think it's like a really good spot overall for Dowdle, and that really opens up Chuba because they didn't do anything in free agency basically at the running back position. I think they just signed AJ Dillon today.
Well, they've got somebody else coming back.
And yeah, they might have Jonathan Brooks making some noise if he's got functioning legs. We'll see.
We will see about that.
We shall see. I'm not holding my breath. But
do you think Caleb Johnson's just getting the first ticket out of town, like for like a 7th round swap or something? Like what?
I honestly don't even. I think he might just be like cut or something at this point. Like I mean,
what was he? Was he a 2nd round pick or 3rd round pick?
I think he was a 3rd.
Yikes!
Yeah, it's not a good look, but if they're signing Rico, they kept obviously Jalen's still there. He didn't touch the ball last year. I mean,
once again, Seattle. Why am I not just throwing like a 6th or 7th round pick, saying, "Hey, do you want this?" For
I still think it's like a character thing. Like Charlie said last year that there were character concerns with him. So like if there are character concerns, like you really don't want to throw capital around for something like that. He's like the perfect guy to wait till somebody gets cut, and then just let's pick him up later kind of thing. So I don't know. I feel like he is a cut candidate, especially after he doesn't show. I think like the logical play is to keep him, play hard in the preseason, let him show what he can do, and then try to trade him, right before the season starts or something like that. That seems like the logical thing to do.
One quick note on Dowdle. Sure. This is his 2nd trip with McCarthy as a head coach. Just so everybody's aware, which is weird because McCarthy wouldn't put him on the field forever. So
yeah, like he was always like the backup guy for him for years. So I mean, I think Rico really, like you said, is a good player. It's just a matter of like, can we get him the ball enough so he can get in these grooves? James Conner restructured, like you mentioned. Then we had Isaiah Checo on a very, very affordable deal to the Lions, which I thought was a great deal because they just needed that big body, that goal line smash kind of guy. And like, I think Pacheco is kind of perfect for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, like you just need somebody to spell like a few carries a game and just run angry. Like I think that is good. No notes.
Yeah. Let him play. Like I mean, for Gibbs, this is like wheels up at this point because like Pacheco's not going to be a threat to major carries at this point. He's kind of just a spell, and let's give him some breathers, and like there's not going to be a lot of threat there. So really great for Gibbs. Then Montgomery was traded to Houston for Juice Scruggs, a 4th round pick, and a 7th round pick. So
weird,
really weird trade. I thought it was a bit much, honestly, to give up for David Montgomery. Like I know he's like a solid back, But I don't know.
Denver made a trade offer too.
That's interesting. That interests me as well because it's like what was Denver trying to do? It's like I don't.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
I mean they made all kinds of trade offers. Like obviously we'll talk about a big one they have today, but um, yeah, just been a really interesting year for Denver in free agency. Um, but Montgomery goes to Houston. He's pretty much locked in as the top back at this point. Seems like Woody Marks will go back to a spell role, which is probably where he belongs. I don't. There's the thing is that's weird about this free agency class, Sean, is that this is such a. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but this is such a bad running back class for the draft. One of the
right.
worst. Like last year was so good, and this year is so bad. It's like it makes sense that a lot of these guys are getting these kind of like 2-year deals, whatnot, because you got to get some level of competency. Like you can't just fill spots in the draft this year. You're like I would argue that there may only be like 10 running backs worth drafting this year, like which is crazy.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I really think that there's going to be a couple more running backs to get traded before on draft night or something. Just like I said, like unless like Seattle, they just can't go into the year with Halani as their starting running back. That feels insane to me because Charbonnet is going to miss most of next year.
Well, they brought in Emmanuel Wilson though.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked decent. I mean, we'll talk about him right now. He's coming up in our list here. You got a 1 year, $1.5 million deal, which is like a nice backup deal, but he looked okay when he had the shots.
You want the Thursday night game with the rings and everything coming out, and then they show the starting lineups, and it's Emmanuel Wilson running back. I don't like. I
wouldn't feel great about it.
I like Emmanuel Wilson, but I don't know, man. That seems wild going from Charbonnet Walker to Emmanuel Wilson, George Halani while you're defending Super Bowl. I don't like. They have so much money to play with. Like they've done nothing.
But Sean, if there's one thing I know about John Schneider and the Seattle Seahawks is they will take 7 running backs in the draft if they have to. They love running backs. They draft 2 running backs every year.
I mean, you can book Mike Washington going to that team in the second round.
Somebody's going to that team. Like I would if there isn't a bet over 1.5 running backs selected by Seattle Seahawks, I would take the over every time. They're taking 2. I guarantee it's the worst running back year in a decade, and they'll take 2. Like they don't care. They just love it. So anyway, let's go back. We had a restructured deal for Aaron Jones to go back to Minnesota, which actually is decent news because, at one point it looked like it might only be Jordan Mason there for a little while, and then he restructured, and it's kind of the same backfield as we saw last year. They got to add some youth as well. Like they got to do something there.
This is another move where, like in any other year, he might have just gotten straight up cut because they could have gotten somebody in the draft that they liked, and there's just nothing there. And I think they're too far away to justify a trade up for Love.
Yeah, and they also have like cap problems.
Yeah, and they got big problems there too.
They have a lot. These kids have so many problems. And then Sean Tucker goes back to the Bucs, which I thought was strange after the Kenny deal. For a $3 million tender, which was surprisingly high considering all the other, cheaper deals that we had out there for running backs specifically. So, I mean, that was kind of an interesting one for him just to go back and be
what's going on with Bucky?
I don't know what's happening with Bucky. I mean, it seems like
he had a lot of mental health issues last year, right?
Yeah, there was. Well, yeah, obviously the shoulder injury, and then like there was some weirdness going on in the middle of the season with kind of just like him posting weird things on social media, and like he had to figure some stuff out, I guess. And they came back, and he really didn't like play all that well last year when he did play. Like he was fine, but it wasn't like the electric Bucky we had seen before. So like this is kind of like a big year for Bucky. Because if he kind of like shows that he's declining as opposed to like going back to like what is his rookie year, then like there might be some actual questions. And that's probably why they brought back Tucker on such a big deal, because like Tucker showed he was very competent in that Bucky role, that first and second down role. So like it kind of makes sense to bring him back. But like long term with Bucky, it's your guess as good as mine right now.
How much was the Gainwell deal again?
Gainwell was 2 year 14.
So they spent 10 million AAV, I guess.
Basically, right? Yeah. And
I'm not going to go on my conspiracy bandwagon, but like if Bucky is just like a random, like I woke up and decided to retire, like I don't feel like that's out of the realm of possibility considering the moves that they've made this offseason, but
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna like I would never bet on that. That's still
No,
feels
I mean,
crazy.
I think the Bucks know that there's some level of uncertainty there, and that's why they did these deals. It's like let's just at least have like a competent backfield if Bucky isn't around or something, or is hurt or something. So like this does make sense because before this whole offseason process, they had one running back on the roster basically. It was just Bucky because Rashad White left, which we'll talk about here in a second, to Washington on a very cheap deal as well. Which I actually like that signing a lot for Washington. Um, so they just needed to get some bodies in there that like could function basically in case Bucky were to be missing time or anything. So it makes sense. Then Chris Rodriguez got a $2-year, $10 million deal with Jacksonville, which was an interesting one because Chris Rodriguez played for Liam Cohen at Kentucky. So that's kind of an interesting connection there after losing Achan. So yeah, I don't really know like what this means for fantasy with him and Tootin. I feel like we're back in the same kind of boat as we were last year with Jacksonville, where it's like I don't know what this is going to look like. We're going to draft all these players in round like 10 of the redraft and just hope they hit. I don't. Yeah, it's going to be between those two guys. There's a lot of redundancy. I feel like too, like the style of play. And then obviously LaQuint our favorite 2x4. Like he's just going to play on the passing downs, and that'll be that.
Pass pro like a goddamn hero.
He's an absolute legend on third down. But anyway, like yeah, it's gonna be a weird year. But for Rodriguez owners, it's nice because at least he got a shot at something,
Yeah.
Moving up the list, Keaton Mitchell, 2 years, $9.25 million deal with the Chargers with Mike McDaniel. Sean, how do we feel?
Wait, you guys don't have any of them little fast guys in LA? Here we go.
It's like, well, come on, Vidal, he wasn't fast, so like he's little, but he's not fast. So we need to go get one of those guys. I love it, honestly.
Oh, I love it too. It's hilarious. It's just so funny. It's like, wait, we can't trade for Achan? Okay.
That's basically what happened, I think. Like they're like, oh, this isn't possible, then we'll just do this instead. Because Keaton Mitchell get $5 million a year is kind of a lot considering he's just not been a whole lot of anything really. Like he's had his flashes.
Yeah.
But he'll be a great special teamer for them. And then, of course, like he's going to have design packages, going to have plays that he's involved on in offense. It kind of sucks for like Kamani Vidal. Like, obviously, like he was kind of like pretty good in the games he played last year, to be honest. So it's going to just eat into his time. But I don't think it means a whole lot for Hampton.
No.
I mean, so people were all like up in arms about it. Like, oh my God, like they're going to take half his carries. Like, I don't think this is half it. This is like 6 touches a game situation for Keaton Mitchell, maybe. Like,
I will just without even digging into like research and everything, I will tell you right now, I would take Hampton ahead of Walker next year, like sight unseen.
Yeah, I mean that feels good to me. I mean, like people forget like how athletic Hampton is. Like he's kind of perfect for that like wide open running scheme. So, I'm excited about it, obviously, as a Hampton owner. So, like, I'm looking forward to it. And Keaton Mitchell is, like, it doesn't feel like much of a threat. So, Rashad White, as we mentioned, 1 year, $2 million deal with Washington. Feels like a great spot for him. I mean, he does all the things that our friend Bill can't do, basically, is just all the third down stuff.
Playing with his former college quarterback.
Yeah, playing with, reuniting with the Arizona State legends. Jaden Daniels, so it's kind of a cool spot for him. I think like he's gonna have like meaningful time this year. Like I think it's a really good move for him, and really like fantasy wise, like he has value again.
I mean, you're going the complete opposite of what I was talking about before with redundancy, where like Rashad White, very good on third down, Bill, non-existent on third down. So they just can combine to form a running back.
Yeah, if you just put it together. And then I'll just clean it up with Jerome Ford and Jeremy McNichols also going back on cheap deals, which feels like exactly what we were talking about earlier with the draft. Like there's just they don't have a lot of draft picks this year. There's not any good ones in the draft that late really anyway. So like, let's just fill out our depth chart here and be done with it basically. So they have all their 4 running backs for this year basically. And then we can go to Emmanuel Wilson. We talked about a little bit. We don't feel good about that as a starter, that's for sure. Jaleel McLaughlin back to Denver. Don't really know why they did that. He doesn't play. He's a special teams guy.
He's a Sean Payton pet. Like at this point,
yeah, I mean, I guess like
at this
Like
point.
the fact that he's getting paid like more than Isaiah Pacheco is kind of strange. Like stuff like that. Like I just don't like why give him anything more than league minimum. I don't really get. So or why not go somewhere else? Then David Montgomery, he got a restructured $2 million or 2 year, $16 million deal, which was basically locking him into that starting role at that point. Kenny getting $2 million. Didn't even know this. This flew under my radar.
Really good in special teams.
I mean,
really
he's literally a special teams player for $2 million. Because he's definitely not getting carries over the other three backs they have. So.
The return game is important now, Eric. You got to remember.
That's what people tell me. Amari DiMercado, 1 year at $1.25 million deal with Kansas City. So he's going to back up, be the primary backup, you would think, to Kenny Walker. And he's a good backup.
I like that, yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, when he's not dropping touchdown runs, he's good.
You know what's funny? It's funny this happened because every time I saw like Amari DiMercado's name, it's like, that guy's going to be a Chiefs backup one day. Like I always felt like it's like he always felt like that Alfred Blue, like just whatever random at Cyrus Gray. You remember him? Like guys like that. Like there's some random backup that like we're gonna look back.
Charkandrick West.
Charkandrick West. That's what we should do is look up the history of backups on the Chiefs. They've always had the best, just the guys. Always had the best. Then we had Zonovan Knight, Ty Chandler, and Julius Chestnut. So not a big kind of rounding out the running back room. A lot going on, obviously. But big fantasy implications with that group. There's a lot of people that got moved to different teams that kind of felt like they got good situations. So I didn't feel like there was any like bombs, dropped this free agency. Like, oh, this really wrecks this guy's value or anything. I didn't feel that.
Yeah, I think the only thing left field for me was, God damn it, ETN.
Like I didn't see him going to New Orleans. Yeah. But that's good for his value. I mean, it really isn't like, I feel like that's as good of a spot as you can get basically at this point. So
I don't really think he's that different than Kenneth Walker. Like, I think Walker's a little more explosive on the ground, and Etienne's a better pass catcher.
Yeah, like Etienne's got that third down value and that pass value. So I like it for basically every player that was signed and moved around. I felt like it was a pretty good situation for fantasy. So getting into the receivers, we'll try to pick and choose here at the ones that talk about. Pickens gets the franchise tag. Highly doubt he shows up to camp.
he's got to be thrilled.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. Like, oh yeah, I got $27 million and like I'm not happy. It's just it's so crazy, but that is exactly what's happening probably. So he played great this year. He was wide receiver 4 on the year. So like I'm sure he wants that big deal, and he's gonna drag it out with Jerry, which is the ultimate fucking reality show, is George Pickens versus Jerry Jones. It's
Jerry loves it.
He heats it right up. This is exactly why he did it. It was for the views, the clicks. Then we had CD. Okay, so I'm going to find the signings. Treylon Burks back to Washington. Whatever. I don't even want to talk about that. Darnell Mooney got cut and then eventually signed a $10 million. So I love that he got cut for $7 and then signed a $10 million deal with the Giants. It's a great smart business for. Was he probably happy he got cut? Yes, and I just don't. Like the Giants love giving money to just like mid receivers at this point. Like Darius Slayton got that Giants deal last year. I like Don Mooney.
Mooney was a quality wide receiver too.
Last year he wasn't, but
in 2024.
Yeah, let's see if he still got it.
Yeah, he broke his collarbone last year. He's never the same.
Yeah, they really needed like one other guy because like Slayton was obviously the other outside guy, and then Neighbors clearly the guy there, but like they needed somebody to replace the Wandale kind of role.
Yeah, Mooney is like the perfect person to throw in there to where like you don't feel like you need to take like a receiver high now, but if you do, he could slot into your wide receiver 3 no problem as well. Like that makes a lot of sense to me, that signing.
Yeah, and it's a 1-year deal. It's not like they gave him like $1 zillion or anything either. Curtis Samuel got cut. So that's not a big fantasy implication. Then Alec Pierce gets just a disgusting deal. Big money, Alec Pierce, which is essentially a 3-year, $87 million deal. Basically, almost all of it's guaranteed up until 2029. So they cannot get out for 3 years, essentially. Then I basically immediately traded Michael Pittman to the Steelers, which I thought was a great deal for both sides, frankly.
I love it.
I mean, I love it for Pittsburgh because they needed a competent receiver too, and they got that for sure. And they cleared the cap off the books for the Colts, so that kind of worked out nicely. And then Alec Pierce, like I still want to see how he just started developing like last year. Like the first 2 years felt like kind of like learning years, and then like literally I cut him obviously in Dynasty, and then turns into this like monster. So it's like it's taken a while for him to get there, which I always knew was going to be a project, but now he's like showing that flash that he has all the athleticism and can learn the routes and whatnot. Being coached by Reggie Wayne is a big deal. So that seems to be working. This is just a lot of money though.
I mean, we're going from a guy that is averaged, I think, 3 catches a game last year. That's got to go up. Like, you got to target him more.
You got to be 6 to 8 targets.
I'd be curious. Yeah, I'd be curious how that changes. I know they made the mediocre signing of the day today in Nick Westbrook-Akine, which feels like another vertical outside receiver. So maybe that gives them a little more flexibility to move him around and do other stuff.
I mean, maybe Pierce takes that Pittman role with a little bit more juice, and then Westbrook-Akine can kind of slot into the sacrificial X, which is like ideal for him. And you have Josh Downs in the slot. It's kind of like a good setup. And then obviously Tyler Warren's there. Like I really don't hate it for the Colts. It's just they basically had to pay this money. Like they kind of it's like this whole offseason has felt scripted for the Colts. Like it's like they had to do this and they had to do that. Like there was never like a question on if they were going to bring him back.
Just running the Truman Show for the Colts.
Yeah, seriously. It's just like here's your script. Just follow the script. Then Wan'Dale gets a 4-year, $70 million deal with the Titans, which
with no disrespect to the Armadillos, but I think this is my least favorite signing of the free agency.
This is brutal. Really bad. And once it's a 2-year 38 essentially. So we'll say that. But
I mean,
is he worth that money? He's not, Sean.
Not only a receiver that is just through his career not been able to beat zone coverage effectively. Like, I don't understand what we're doing.
His yards per target, like he doesn't have any like numbers really throughout his career. Like he's not turning a 5-yard catch into a 30-yard catch. Like that's not happening. Like
I mean, if you take away the Cowboys games from last year and then look at his stats, I don't.
Yeah, and I also think like somebody had this really funny tweet on X the other day, and it was Brian Daboll just bringing back all the players that got done. Brian Daboll fired, and I was like, that's exactly what they're doing. But I mean,
I was listening to the PFF show, and the guys were just calling the Titans the bouncers because they only let the people on their team that they know.
Yeah, seriously,
They've signed, I think, 10 players now that previously worked with the coaches.
It's so bad.
Holy shit!
Doesn't feel good. Does not feel good. That being said, like they definitely needed to upgrade these pass catchers, but like this doesn't that big of an upgrade. Like,
he can eat up targets for sure.
I mean, he'll be a good slot guy, but like he's like I don't like paying these guys $70 million. That's for sure.
I mean, it's terrible for DK. Like, what are we doing here?
I mean, he's just a core special teams. He's a thrills legend. That's what he is.
He's great at that, but like I just feel like his reps at the receiver position are going way down this year.
Yeah, and even Iomanner with Ridley coming back too, like that feels kind of like a pain in the ass. So I don't know. That whole like room is weird now. Really don't want to talk about this next one, but I have to. Mike Evans signing a 3-year, $42 million deal with the 49ers. It's effectively a 1-year 15 or 16 mil or whatever. So it's basically just if they want to keep him around after that. But it's just this sucks. Like it just doesn't feel good.
I think anybody like us or in media were like, yeah, he's a buck until like they prove us otherwise, and they finally they did the thing, and it was
and there was like a scare with him leaving. I think it was last offseason or the one before that. Like I remember there was talks of him going to like the Chiefs or whatever because he wanted another shot to win the Super Bowl. But like I mean, I think most Bucs fans, like I think there was a quote that came out today from Jason Light where he's saying, oh, like Mike, this wasn't about Todd Bowles or anything, so you just want another challenge. And I'm like, that's a load. I just don't buy it. Like,
so 100% Bowles got it.
Yeah, Bowles. Like if you watched any of those games at the end of the season where they just could not stop anybody on these long third downs and blowing games at the end of the game, like Mike wants to win a Super Bowl, and it's like I hate to say it, but the Bucks are not a Super Bowl team as it looks right now. Like me, like I just don't feel it, and it's not really because the roster's terrible. I don't believe in our coaching staff right now. So, literally, I think this whole offseason has been a bit of a train wreck for the Bucks. I mean, like as if you look at it from the start of the cycle of coaching, I think the idea to bring Bowles back was terrible because when you look at the other coaches that were available in the cycle, it makes zero sense to bring back Bowles at that point. Like you have McDaniel available, you had freaking Harbaugh available, you had like all these big name coaches, like really good coaches, and then this is what we end with. Like I would have rather had Robert Saleh at this point. At least he got some fresh ideas. Like there's
Robert Saleh, I think, is a good coach. He's got shafted in New York.
yeah, I mean he got screwed, but like I would much like there. I can think of a lot. Most of the coaches that got hired this cycle, maybe outside of like Jeff Hafley, I'd probably have over Bowles at this point. So like, I mean, it just felt like that was the start of a bad decision train where it's like, okay, now we brought back Bowles, which basically effectively lost us Evans. We didn't really make any big splash trades or anything with pass rushers. We haven't really gotten a whole lot better, it felt like. So it's just been a really like kind of weak offseason. I don't hate the Anzalone signing. I don't hate bringing in Killebrew on special teams. I don't hate Gainwell, but like none of this stuff moves the needle for me. Like I don't feel like the team's getting better. So
who did they sign the guy from Detroit too, right? To replace Logan.
Yeah, Al-Qadim Muhammad, I think. Like and he
like that signing.
great
That's my favorite signing.
Yeah, and it was a $5 million deal. Like it's fine. Like that's but he had 12 sacks last year. Didn't do anything the previous 8 years of his career. So like maybe it'll hit, but right, like we have basically done nothing on the edges outside of that. So like I don't feel good about next year. Like I really don't. Which sucks because like it feels like the rest of the NFC South is getting better.
Carolina got a lot better.
Getting a lot more competent. Yeah, Stefanski was a damn option as a coach this year, and we just like now we'll keep Bowles. It's like anyway, that's too much talk there. But Evans goes to the 49ers, which was a great spot for Mike Evans.
I was gonna say, can we talk about the receivers for a second?
Yeah.
Drag on, but like Mike Evans, that's a perfect fit for Kyle.
He needed a guy like this.
San Francisco, yeah. I love that. I think that works really well for Pearsall too, because now Pearsall's not having to do his Brandon Ayuk impression and actually can do. I mean, he's just more of like a isolated win-man coverage out of like a flanker slot role receiver more than he is an X. So, I mean, he was getting asked to do something that was not really in his wheelhouse last year while playing with another injury. So I like that for Pearsall too. Evans, I think they're still going to draft a receiver probably with a
I agree.
top 100 pick, I would imagine, possibly first rounder, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that just needed an overall upgrade. Like Juwan Jennings probably isn't coming back either. So did he sign yet? I don't think he did.
He is not. But
yeah, his market was San Francisco. So
yeah, I mean, according to who was it? Sheldon Rank, who was on the Browns last year, called him a hoe. I think it was hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. He's just like one of those guys that like I don't think he's much anything else anywhere else except for San Fran. So yeah, like it's a good fit here, and it's really good for fantasy value for at least another year or two. So so that'll be a nice boost for Brock Purdy and the 49ers offense. And Jalen Naylor gets a $35 million deal with Vegas, who was just shelling out cash. It's effectively a 2-year, $24 million, so it's really not as bad as it looks on the surface. But it's still a lot of money for a guy like Jalen Naylor. I love Jalen Naylor. He was like one of my guys, like coming out of school a couple years ago from Michigan State. Like I thought he was a fun player. So like nice that he might actually get a shot for some meaningful snaps. So that's kind of cool. But that being said, it seems like a lot of money for a guy that like really didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, he fits really well with like a team that's got a Bowers and a Besh. We said all this last year with like the receiving options in Vegas, but I believe in them this year now. They've actually got a good head coach. But like Naylor, just like good vertical threat. He can win downfield. I mean, combining that with a Bowers who like can win underneath and in the intermediate sections of the field, like that makes sense. I understand the team building that they're doing there. But I think at best, Jalen Naylor is just a very good third option on the team. So, but I mean,
they had a bunch of threes already.
That's the going rate for competency at receiver, though. So, I mean, it's not shocking.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Wandale getting 70 and Alec Pierce getting 116 and all this, like it's kind of it's
It's
just
the
expensive.
updated Darius Slayton deal. That's what
It
it
is
is.
a little bit, yeah. That's a really good point. Um, Jahan Dotson to Atlanta. That feels like kind of like a one-for-one fill-in of Mooney, basically. Um,
It's a good speculative like shot. I mean,
nice buy
Dotson,
low, yeah.
he was never going to be successful in Philly because they can barely get the ball to AJ Brown. So like, why are we expecting them to get the ball to Dotson?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think he's got more in tank than what's actually been given to him.
he's got upside for a guy that's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. So I kind of like that. Then we had Rashid Shaheed going back to Seattle on a 3-year 51. That kind of felt like it was going to happen anyway after the trade.
Boo, boo.
Not a big fan of this.
No, I love Shaheed, but I love Torrey Horton, and
Oh
now
yeah, that really does
I have to
hurt.
watch. I have to watch my favorite Suns battle
Yeah,
for playing time.
that does hurt. Well,
I
I
was
mean,
really
Horton
hoping.
still. I mean, even as a 3, like the thing is, Shaheed's role is so it's so defined, like what he is, that like
Yeah,
Torrey Horton doesn't really do the same things. Like that's not
yeah, it's
really.
fair. I'm really
They're
hoping
too.
for Cooper Cup to retire. I don't know at
I
this
mean,
point.
yeah, I mean, at some point he's gonna have to go, but you might have to wait for the Torrey Horton breakout for year 3. Kendrick Bourne to Arizona for 2-year 10 mil. That's a nice like depth signing for them. Um, let's keep it rolling here. Bigger names, bigger names. All right, Roma Dobbs 4-year 68. That's another large contract. I actually like this one. I think Dobbs is a lot better of a receiver than people give him credit for. I think he's like a really like he reminds me a ton of Marvin Jones, like just his like career arc where he was like never really like super involved with Cincinnati, then signs a big deal with Detroit and like kind of shows what he can do a little bit more with increased volume. That's kind of like where I'm seeing Dobbs at this point.
There's a receiver in this draft that I swear to God is just Romeo Dobbs again, like exactly the same guy. Do you want to guess who it is?
um, is it how early or late are we talking?
He'll be round 2 or 3.
Okay. Hmm.
SEC.
SEC. It's not. It's not. I don't know. It's just interesting. I could go a couple different ways. There's a lot of SEC receivers this year. I don't know. Let me hear it. What we got?
Jeremy Bernard.
Okay, yeah, Bernard. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Like
I swear
Bernard
to
is
God,
like just that rock solid receiver. He's like nothing crazy. He's just solid. He gets the
they're
job
the same guy. I'm convinced they've never been in the same place at the same time. Same person.
Yeah, I mean, and like that's another guy that like just never got a ton of targets, so it's like hard to really tell like how good he actually is. But anyway, for like the Patriots, they need to just like raise the floor in that room, and this definitely does it. So I think with him, Booty, and likely some bringing in some people in the draft as well, and Kyle Williams still there, like they just be a better unit overall next year. Um, Let's see what else we got. Sky Moore, not even going to talk about that one. DJ Moore getting traded. Now that's very notable. So DJ Moore to the Bills in exchange for a 6th-round pick this year and a 5th as well. So yeah, the Bills had to do something at receiver. Like there's like they had no other choice but to do something at receiver at this point. The development of Keon Coleman has not gone well. They really haven't gotten anything significant out of any of the other receivers and as role players. So like this is a guy that can kind of like raise the floor of that room and doesn't pigeonhole them into drafting one in the 1st round this year, which is a good thing for them. So so how do you feel about DJ Moore as like a fantasy asset going for next year?
I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense with Josh Allen. Like, I think they seem like they would work well together. DJ Moore's definitely more of like he's not like he's not a very refined player. He's more out there playing like jazz or something. So Josh Allen kind of fits
Yeah,
that.
the off
Um,
script stuff would be interesting.
and I just think DJ Moore was just done in Chicago. Like I think as soon as they drafted, holy shit, I'm blanking. Help me.
Burton.
Last year, Burton. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just felt like he was just on a clock. Like what you were talking about, how the Colts were like just kind of predetermined this offseason. DJ Moore getting traded felt predetermined as well. So I think as far as like a fantasy value, I don't think he could have landed in a better spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of feeling like he was on a huge trend downward, frankly, in terms of dynasty value and overall value, and this kind of gets him right back up to where he was. So, And it's good for the Bills and good for the Bears as well to get a second out of this. I mean, that's essentially what they drafted Burton in the second, so it's kind of like a 1-for-1 trade in a way. So that kind of worked out. Then let's see, we had Stephon Diggs getting cut. Michael Pittman we talked about. That was a nice move for Pittsburgh. Jacoby Myers, that's salary stuff. Calvin Ridley back to Tennessee, as we mentioned. Not a whole lot else here.
He took a big pay cut, by the way. He took a huge pay cut to stay in Tennessee. Surprising.
Yeah, I mean, what was he gonna do? Like,
I know it's just. I mean,
it is significant though. So like, they're definitely not as like they're not as tied to Calvin Ridley at this point. We'll put it that way. Jalen Waddle getting traded to Denver for a first-round pick number 30, a third-round pick, and a fourth-round pick. Basically a pick swap for the fourth round. I thought this was a really good deal for Miami. I loved it for Miami.
I like it on both sides.
Yeah, both sides seem like winners. I mean, like Waddle, I feel like has always been a little bit overrated just in terms of like availability as a piece of the puzzle for him.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I just don't think he's ever really felt like a true number one to me. He was definitely paid like a number one for the last few years. So I think this is probably the right value though. Like he's probably really worth like a second, a third situation, but like this is, a pick 30. So it kind of makes sense for the value, but like this is a great move for Denver though. They just keep getting better.
Waddle and Sutton just feel like very, very high quality twos. But if you're throwing them together, it just feels like good enough to call you like your team. I have a one, like depending on the. So
I mean, that's just a good receiving room, dude. They got 5 good receivers. Like you got Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin's there still, Waddle. You have who am I forgetting? Sutton's, like Mims is solid. Like that's just like a really good 5-unit receiving room. Like they can do a lot with that.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that Miami didn't like try and get like Pat Bryant or something back in that trade. Like just
you would figure like one of these deals they would try to get like some floor. Like dude, they're starting Malik Washington right now as their one. Like they don't have any.
Like there's tanking and then there's just like below competency and like we're towing the line here.
Well, it's like you want to get guys that like you could at least like say like, oh, this guy might have upset for our rebuild or something like that. Like that would be nice to get, in one of these deals. But I haven't felt anything has gone that way really. So they'll be drafting at least 1 or 2 this year. So, and that's gonna be kind of it. So let's quickly do a couple of tight ends and then we'll get into our mock draft. So going down the list here. So Kyle Pitts franchise tag feels fine. Should be a lot better in that offense.
I mean, they outside of London, they just got nothing as like a pass catching group. So they like almost had to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, like they once again, like you could try to go into the free agency pool, but like in terms of like true pass catchers, they didn't really have any. So it's like they kind of had to almost.
Yeah. I mean, technically, the last 3 years, he's just kind of built and built and built. So I mean,
it's getting better. It's improving. Yeah. Maybe this year with like the Stefanski, who's been known to be very good for tight ends, like it should be a better fit for him overall. Then you had Will Disley, Big Montana getting cut. Janu Smith getting cut was interesting. Jelani Woods got an extension. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he played football still. Okay, that was an interesting one.
Wow.
Juwan Johnson had a restructure. Tyler Higbee, 2-year, $6 million deal to be a blocker. Adds up to me. Dalton Schultz, 1-year, $12 million contract extension. I didn't know that either.
Holy shit, that's a lot of money for Dalton Schultz.
Dude, I will stand on the table saying this. There's the tight end market is ridiculous. There's no reason that tight ends like Adam Troutman get $17 million deals, and then the running backs are completely worthless, basically. Like they get the same value as the running backs. It doesn't make any sense.
Wait until we get to Dallas Goedert getting 1 year $7, and then look at Dalton Schultz. It doesn't make any sense.
K. Dotton getting 3 years $30. Isaiah likely getting 3 years $40. Like these are.
I hate that likely deal.
I don't think it's good at all. Like he's shown no ability to stay on the field. Like
he's never had over 500 yards in a regular season.
No, like the tight end 2 market, like Charlie Kohler got 3-year 24, Sean.
Hey, Charlie Kohler is,
and I like Charlie Kohler.
I think he's better than Likely.
I think it's an all-around tight end for sure.
Yeah.
So like it's just like these contracts for these tight ends, like it happens every year. There's always a bad tight end contract. There's always like really bad number twos that are just there to block, getting way too much money. I never understood it. Like, remember the Trey
Daniel
Burton
Bellinger got
deal?
$24 million. Holy shit. I like Bellinger, but damn.
No, like that was one of the Titan or the Giants rebuilding the shitty Titans. Like that's a terrible deal. That's an awful deal. Like no reason that a cap hit for Daniel Bellinger should be $8 million next year. That's ridiculous.
Wild.
Anyway, yeah, like that, like Bellinger is kind of a non-moving. It doesn't really move the needle for me at all. Hooper back to Atlanta as a backup. That's fine. Likely, I mean, like he's gonna get snaps, obviously, but like don't like
Nicest
the deal.
thing you've ever said about Hooper, by the way. That's hilarious.
I mean, yeah, I'm just not a fan. But he goes home. You could say that he's going home. Yeah, I mean, Kate Otten. I don't love that one either. But like, I will say this about Kate Otten, like. He has definitely flashed. Like there have been moments where it's like, oh shit, Kate Otten like 6 for 98. That was nice. Or he had like a game-winning catch here. Like he's just like a good. To me, should really be like a high end too. But maybe like with more volume, maybe he gets better and better. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's as a starting level tight end. I think he's like he feels like the median to me, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean I think it's acceptable, and I just wish they had tried something else. I guess maybe in my head, but whatever. Like at the time, especially.
I'd be curious to see like what that looks like for him this year. Now that he's like the size is kind of gone out of the receiving core with Mike Evans gone. I'd be curious to see if he gets used any differently because of that. But
it would be interesting. Like I think the thing that made that signing like feel even worse was that Mike Evans left like that same day, basically. So it's like, oh, like our big splash signing was Kate Otten for 3 years for 30, and Mike Evans left and went to San Francisco into an in-conference riot. Like that hurt. Like it made it feel worse. So,
oh my god, I'm just pulling up a report. It says Mike Evans took significantly less money to go play for the 49ers. So Tampa offered a lot more money.
Like, yeah, for sure. Which tells you everything you need to know about the Todd Bowles situation. So. Like it wasn't he wanted a challenge. It's I don't want to play for fucking a team that's not going to play for the Super Bowl.
Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Rachaad White said the same thing leading up to free agency. He's like, I have no interest in playing for the Bucs anymore. It's like it's crazy.
It's crazy because like on the out like the way outside of the 20,000-foot view, like the Bucs are seen as such a stable organization the last few years, but it feels so different.
I think it's falling off the track, Sean. I think the wheels are coming off here. Like it was a nice run. We had a good run for a while, and now it's just not. I mean, the Byron Leftwich thing was kind of like that first like oh shit moment, and then they kind of like got back to some level of competency, and then now it's like oh fuck, like it's like I think the rebuild is coming, and like it's making Baker's future pretty muddy too. Like if he stinks this year again, or like he doesn't really play all that well, like it's gonna be does he want to come back? Like, what does anything look like next year if we don't have a good year? So, anyway, let's keep it moving. Travis Kelce gets a 1-year, $12 million deal back with Kansas City. So, kind of just keeping the train rolling there. Nothing too crazy.
Got to pay for a wedding.
That's got to be the pinup. Let's see. Dawson Knox signed a 3-year, $20 million restructured contract. I know his contract was awful before. Talk about bad tight end contracts.
That's yeah, but he's Josh Allen's best friend.
I know. This is what I'm talking about. I want to see what that other one was. That other deal was really bad back in the day.
They will keep him on the team as long as Josh Allen.
4 for 52 was horrific back in 2020. I remember that one as being one of the ones like the bad tight end contracts over the history. Hayden Hurst retired. I didn't know that either, so that's an interesting one.
Well, he was 30 when he got drafted.
Yeah, he was very old. Greg Dulcich to Miami, staying in Miami essentially. Kind of don't hate that one.
Could be the number one option in the passing game.
He played pretty good down the stretch for them too. And then Chigakonkwo getting 3 years, 27 from Washington. Like kind of a decent deal, I guess. Basically kills Ben Sinnott, by the way. It's over. It's been over, but it's really over now.
Please see the previous podcasts for how I feel about Ben Simmons.
Yeah, like I'll give you your flower on that one because if that signing absolutely just smoked them, it's over.
All right, let's
Anyway,
get through this.
yeah, let's see if there's any other like big notable ones. Like Julian Hill getting 15 million. Like, what are we doing here?
Goddard is probably the only other one of note.
Yeah, trying to see if there. Keith is back. Um,
Wait, never even heard of that guy.
Tegan Quintoriano.
Yep.
He scored a touch. I actually picked him in a prize picks lineup one year to get a catch, and he got it for me. So I appreciate his services.
Oh, wow.
All right, that's going to do it for free agency. Now we're going to hop into the real fun, which is our first mock draft of the PHU Dynasty season. Sean, we are finally in like we're in this like peak draft window now. We had the free agency period's over, combine's over. We kind of see what the team needs really are now. So like I'm kind of glad we didn't do one of these before free agency because like this really gives us a better idea of where people might be going. So I think it's a really good time to do this.
We're just in the scrape together whatever pro days are left. Oh my God, this guy went on a 30-day visit, and we're living on mock drafts from industry guys at this point until the draft.
Yeah, I call this Charlie season. This is Charlie season. So we're watching like Walter Football. Like I always read his hot press articles because they usually end up being pretty accurate in terms of like where the scouts are seeing like specific guys, which we'll definitely talk about, I'm sure, a couple of times here in this mock draft. So anyway, we're gonna basically do picks 1 through 32 here. We'll alternate picks. Sean, do you want to do the odds and I'll do the evens maybe?
That is fine. I can do that.
All right. Well, Sean will do odds, I'll do evens, and we are going to allow maybe like a couple of trades because as we were talking about before we started the show, I feel like there's a couple of spots that are very obvious potential trade downs, trade up spots potentially based on how the draft falls. So we'll get to those when we get to them. But Sean, I think your first pick is pretty easy at least, so that helps.
Yeah, put them on the board. This is the most. The draft starts at 2. Everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like
we're aware of this already.
Every move that they've made this offseason has been to start the process for Mendoza. Like Linderbaum getting your center, your veteran center is basically that first piece of the puzzle. So
big money.
Yeah, big money for a center. Yeah. So I guess we'll start with 2 then. I think there's like maybe like 3 total options, for this spot, like that feel like right, I guess, for this spot. And I think that's
first. Are we doing predictive or are we doing what we're doing? What we'd like to do?
What do you think? I kind of feel like what I'd like to do would be fun. Because like it's so early to predict stuff,
Okay. All right.
Like it's been. I think it would give like I'd like to give like opinions on like what we think about the players as opposed because like right now, it's still a month away. Like there's going to be so much info that comes out on predictions that like it's kind of doesn't really help right now. But like let's use that as like the floor is like the prediction, like maybe add in what you think as well. So with that in mind, I have my favorite edge rusher in the draft is David Bailey. I think he's the best. So I really like David Bailey. So I'm going to throw him at number 2 because I think they're going to go edge. I assume like predictive mocks are all pretty much going Reese at this point. I just really like David Bailey. I think he's a stud. So I want for some way to the Bucks to trade up and get him somehow. I just don't see it happening. So
yeah, he would be my edge too, but I totally get it. Like I was not expecting that.
Yeah, so like he's just a guy that I've watched a lot this year, obviously, but like he just naturally has that juice and that jam, if you will, at the pass.
He's got the fastest feet.
He's explosive.
His first step is nuts.
And I usually shy away from pass rushers like that, but like I think he's just still building. Like he went to Stanford, like he's still getting better. Like he's just one of these guys. Like if he was like one of the top sackers in the league in a few years, it wouldn't shock me at all. So like I'm going over him. Arbo Reese is more of a projection.
He screams like those guys in Denver off the edge.
Yeah, like Benito.
Yeah, that's like for sure where he's at, and I like that a lot. I think he doesn't play with a huge amount of bend for a smaller edge, so it makes me a little nervous. That's probably why I wouldn't have him above my first guy, but he's gonna have he'll have double-digit sack seasons in the NFL for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like he's pretty much a lock for like a top 10 pick, you'd imagine.
Yeah. All right, I'm up with the Cardinals.
Yes, you are.
I think for me the chalk as I've done things is Maui Goa. So I'll
Okay.
probably just stick with that and take Maui Goa.
Yeah, I mean, like they're a spot that you can kind of go in a few different directions with the edge rusher, with linebacker. A lot of defense could be used there, but they also really need that right tackle. They need a guard, and so that kind of fits for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Let him fail at tackle. If he's going to fail at tackle, he'll be on like a Pro Bowl minimum guard in the NFL to me.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be like if he ends up at guard, he'll be a great guard. All right, number 4, the Tennessee Titans. This is kind of an interesting situation where they have Arvell Reese available for them, so that's kind of not what I've seen in a lot of mocks recently. That being said, I feel like the chalk right now is Jeremiah Love, and I'm just gonna stick with the chalk here. I just feel like it's I think a lot of teams are going to have him very high on their big boards, and the teams that are staying true to best player available will just take him. I don't think there's going to be many boards where he's not in the top 5 for most teams. So we'll take Jeremiah Love and keep this thing moving. Oh, it says the connection was lost.
Uh-oh.
I think we're back. Yeah, we're back.
Ricky.
Okay, keep it rolling.
Okay, well, this is interesting.
Yeah, the board has fallen very interesting. Like, I think realistically, like, you could replace Bailey and Arvell Reese kind of like in terms of like where they would go. So, like, I feel like it doesn't throw things off too much. But
in my mind, the Giants, like for me, if I'm the Giants, I think in order, I want either Love or Styles or Tate. And Tate being the third choice. So I'm going to take Sonny Styles here at 5.
okay. And like, I have kind of, I don't want to say soured on Sonny Styles, but like, historically speaking, linebackers just don't go this high. Like, they just don't. So, like, part of me thinks, like, if I'm predicting where he's going to go, like, I don't know what his over under is on draft picks right now, but I feel like I would take the under. Like, I would take he would go lower than expected just based on the history of the position. That being said, he's an awesome player. I mean, like, I'd love to have him. I think he's like probably one of the closer things we've gotten to like a Fred Warner recently. So, like, obviously a great pick here for the Giants that just need any help on the back end of their defense in the back 7. So,
and I will say that could totally be a trade down candidate if Jeremiah Love goes at 4.
yeah, especially if Arvell Reese is available, like, or one of these guys.
I mean, Kansas City's got a lot of draft capital. They can move up and get one of those edges. I think they are just in desperate need of an edge 1 on that team, like they've needed forever. So that is an option. But I think the Giants need a captain of their defense. So
yeah, he feels like the perfect like piece to round out that front 7.
Yeah, it's like 2026 Brian Urlacher back there.
I mean, he's really good. Like, I like him a lot. All right, so pick 6, we have the Browns, which I fucked myself by picking the evens because I really hate picking for the Browns. Like, they don't have any receivers, Sean.
It's like, bad.
It's really bad. And everything on the board right now says to not take a receiver. So I'm going to take a receiver.
Yeah. I mean, this felt like the chalk to me.
I mean, I feel like
say goodbye to your dynasty value.
Yeah, and that'll be very interesting when we do our drafts in our first round mock here in a little bit. But like, if there's, I feel like this would be another trade down spot potentially. Like why not just move down a few picks if somebody really wants Reese or Baines or Downs? Like, that kind of adds up. Maybe I should have thought about that as a trade spot.
We could do that. We could do that right now.
Can I undo a pick? I can. There we go. So let's think about.
Who do you think would be coming up here?
Well,
I see one team in particular that I think would want to come up.
Well, if it's fucking me for the Bucks, I want to try to take my shot at Arvell Reese, but like, I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. I think the obvious one here is probably Kansas City coming up for one of the edges.
Yeah, I think so too. I also think like Washington is a prime trade down team as well because they have no picks. So like either one of these really could have been the trade down team.
You get ahead of
Yeah,
it in
like
Kansas City and trade up with
yeah, we should do
Cleveland.
Kansas City for Reese.
Yeah, they don't have to move that far down. I like getting an extra pick and then taking Tate at 9, assuming that New Orleans doesn't get crazy. But
So what would they have to give up? You think it would be like 9
6
and
to 9 for, I don't know, was that like a third or a fourth round pick to move up?
let's say a third. Fuck it.
Sure.
Let's see. They take the trade. They
We're
didn't
not
want.
busting,
They
we're
didn't
not
want.
busting out the trade calculator here,
We're
so
forcing the trade.
yeah,
Okay.
it
There
doesn't
it
matter.
is.
We're not making that pick anyway, so
That's fine. All
they
right.
can figure
So,
that out.
I mean,
That's
that's great. Great for the Chiefs if they could pull something like that off. Like that'd be really good for them. Um, that leaves us with pick
you're
7 here,
taking
Sean.
Reese with that pick.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Commanders at 7. Ooh,
We're
boy,
just feeling pretty good for them.
there are a lot of good choices here. Honestly, they would be totally fine taking all 4 of those top guys, and I wouldn't
Yeah,
hate it.
I agree.
Man, I just think he's my number 1 edge in the class. I'm just gonna go with Ruben Bain
You're
at
a
7.
Bane guy, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The arms don't bother you.
No, not when he doesn't win on speed. He wins on power.
Yeah, he's a bull guy. Yeah.
Can you think of an edge that's got that much power and bend at the same time, but
It's
not?
it's pretty rare, man. Like,
It's a weird combo.
yeah. I mean, I think he's awesome. I really like him. I like him more than Reese, to be honest with you. I think Reese is my third favorite in the class. Like, I like him. I just think there's a lot of work you need to do on Reese.
I mean,
Like Bane,
he's changing positions.
yeah, and that's the thing is like I'm not a big projection guy. Like usually, like here's the problem is I'm scarred from all the Bucks bad projection picks over the years. The Joe Tryon-Shoyinkas, the Chris Braswells, the Noah Spences. I don't like them. Give me a pass rusher that was productive in college, and that's what I want to see. Like I want to see you beat your own competition, and then get
That's
better.
that's exactly like I've seen people connect Reese to Arizona if he makes it to 3, and I'm like, you think Arizona is going to take another converted
Another
linebacker?
project, like they did this every year. They took Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons, and like they just never work. Like, and like not to say that Arville Reese can't work. Like obviously he's extremely talented, but like I just don't want a project like that's. If I'm picking this high, I need you to have some level of production, and that's why I would choose Bailey and Bane over Reese for sure.
I agree. I go Bane, Bailey, and then Reese for me in particular.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Bane went number 2. Like honestly, like at this point, like I feel like it's not out of the question. Anyway, let's get to pick 8 here. So I pick 8 for the Saints. The board has fallen pretty good for them as well. They could kind of go in a couple of spots here, but I like the idea of them picking up like another 2 receiver at this point. A guy, honestly, it's not that different than Olave, to be honest with you. Pretty similar in Carnell Tate. So let's give them Tate here.
Oh, it's just backfired for Cleveland. Oh, you hate to see.
Cleveland got smoked here, but there's other options. Like they still
Yeah.
have options here for sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Saints definitely receivers on the board for them there. I think I've had Bailey falling to them before. I think that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, I think that's why I like that trade up spot of one of the
corner,
6 7.
Yeah, corner very kind of sneaky big need for the Saints too. So the Browns at 9. I think we're just going to continue to build the offensive line. They have 5 players that they can start this season.
They had like nobody before the free agency
which
started.
is frankly impressive when you have no cap space and you find 5 starters when you didn't have any. So I will give them that.
I mean, they're not great, but they're starting.
So I'm going to do the thing that's in vogue right now, and I'm going to give them Monroe Freeling.
I was going to say our friend Monroe.
He is definitely about as raw as you can get for a guy taking that high, but considering where they're at, they can be patient with him. So I think
I'll be honest with you, I have not watched any tape of Monroe Freeling, but I heard somebody the other day saying like he's not, as a prospect, he wasn't that far off of like Lane Johnson. So they say he has awesome feet.
I mean,
he's
huge.
A
freak athlete. He's just raw.
Yeah. So I mean, like That sounds like exactly like somebody that the Browns would take, to be honest with you. It's like, let's just go for the upside and swing for the fence and
Yeah,
hope.
I mean, I've messed around and I've taken him at 6 for the
I've
Browns.
seen a lot of Browns Monroe Fielding at 6 recently. Like that seems
So
to pop up more and more.
trading
Um,
down for them right now, which is something that they've been okay doing. They did it last year, so it makes sense to me. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think they'd be super happy with how that turned out.
yeah, and that leads us to pick 10 with the Bengals.
Big chalk, baby.
I feel like there's some chalk here. I also feel like going like another route, but I'm not going to do it. Um, I don't know. This is a weird one.
God damn, they've got Dylan Thielen high. Holy shit.
Yeah, Trevor loves Dylan Thielen. He
I
loves
like Thielen too,
he loves
but
him.
damn,
Um, I mean, like the best player on the board is Caleb Downs. Like it's not even close. Like I mean,
he's top 3 player on my board.
he's so good. Like I just think like at the end of the day, he's the best player. They need help in the secondary. Like he can play all kinds of different roles for you. He can play down in the box. He can play nickel. He can play safety. Like I'm just gonna take Caleb Downs and just like not overthink that one.
It's great.
Good. I mean, great value at 10. Back to the old Bengals. Like the Bengals, like back in the day when Vince and I were watching the drafts and stuff at FGCU, like it was always the Bengals getting the best value for the longest time. Like they always took the best second round guys that we liked. They always took our favorite third round picks. And then over
Who
the years, that has just gone away. So like maybe they
who's
just
who's the best Big Ten player left on this board? Okay, he went to Ohio
yeah,
State.
yeah.
Book.
It's a fair strategy, honestly. And we got the Dolphins. You're up at 11.
Here we go with them Dolphins. All right. Does a trade down make sense for anybody here? I don't think so. I think the Dolphins would just be looking for as many picks as possible. I think talent
Yeah.
wise, there's not really that big of a disparity.
I just don't think anybody's coming up here.
Yeah,
I think for
unless
Downs, like that would be a come up player.
I can't see anybody wanting to add or spend extra capital to trade up for a corner, but it does make sense if you want to jump Dallas for Delane.
Maybe, but
But
I mean, fucking Miami could just do it.
I just don't. I know they have no cornerbacks, but this is trenches all day. These are the guys from Green Bay. They're taking big
Yeah,
humans.
that's a great point. That's a really good point. I mean, Ione makes a
Um,
lot of sense.
yeah, he makes a lot of sense.
I mean, he's just like a plug and play, like gonna be a good guard. Like I
Yeah,
watched his tape. He looks just like there's always that one guard every year, like, yep, that guy's gonna be a good guard. It's like I feel like he's that guy.
I know. I was talking to Vince and saying like if Tate were to fall somehow to 11, I think that is a possibility as well outside of trenches. But I think it's really weird to take. It would be really weird to take Vega above Fano to me. But they've got 2 tackles.
The thing is, Fano like is such an interesting
He can play
prospect.
everywhere though. You know what? Give me Fano. I think he can fit wherever they need. He can replace Austin Jackson in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, he can play center, he can play guard. He's kind of like the Graham Barton of this class a little.
Yeah, let's go with Fano.
All right, I'm good with that. And the way this board has fallen, it feels very logical for
That's
the
great.
Cowboys just to take Dane here, get the best corner in the draft, and walk away. So I'll do that.
Thieneman would not shock me there, though. I will tell you.
No, it kind of seems like a Cowboys kind of guy, if you know what I'm saying.
Mhm,
They also could have. They have a. I know they have a pick coming up here, so actually I'll leave it for now. But
mhm.
we got the Rams here at 13, who are just like such an interesting team this year.
The team that has like no needs.
They could do anything they want.
Hey, can you pull up just tackles?
Sure. The tackles have evaporated.
Yeah. Okay. Just go back to best avail and we'll just take Makai Lemon.
Yeah, I mean that would be a really fun player for
Hey,
them.
you're gonna have to replace Devontae Adams after this year, most likely. Puka is not like he misses games, so having depth is going to be important for them. Like that's a next year need, but is going to help you now too. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with like the prototype Ravens pick here and just pick the best offensive lineman. Just go with the guard. I'm just gonna pick Ione.
I mean, their guards are terrible. It makes sense. I
Really,
mean,
they've lost a lot of people over the years on that line, and he's just like such a solid player.
Yeah, I mean, they get John Simpson back, but he's a third contract player at this point. So I mean,
And
they
that
have no.
leaves us with this bullshit, Sean. So this is exactly what has been happening in basically every draft that I've seen, is that all good pass rushers are essentially off the board. All the stuff that the Bucks kind of need isn't really there at this point, except for like maybe a couple of players. Is this a trade down spot? Like,
I don't know if there's anybody worth trading up.
who's trading up for anything here? Like
Like
maybe
the best
Sadiq
players on the
is interesting.
board, you could say, are both Oregon guys, which I couldn't argue. But like, you're going to trade up for a tight end and a safety?
I don't see it. That's the thing. It's like this is a really bad spot for the Bucks to be picking. Really bad. It doesn't fit our needs well, and it's not really a prime trade up spot.
Yeah, I would really love for this to be if for whatever reason Vega were to fall to 15,
I think they
I
would
could
consider
see a
that.
team trading up or
Yeah,
taking him, either one.
I think they would just take it. Like the Bucks have shown a fondness for just taking best player available, and also they like taking most unique human available. They've done that a few different
That's
times,
fair.
like
Yeah.
with like Vita Vea and shit like that. Like they'll just take like guys that maybe aren't thought of as like top guys, but just like have very unique traits. Like they kind of go with that sometimes too. And Vega is
Yeah.
like one of those kind of guys.
I'm gonna do this one for Trevor because he loves him. I'll
Don't do
just
it.
go. Uh, you don't want me to go with Mesidor?
Yeah, just do it. But I'll explain. This is good for the pod.
Okay, just do Mesidor.
Okay. Here's my problem. I
Other than
like
he's old.
Messidor a lot. I really do. He's old.
He's old.
He's old. And he's a 1-year wonder. Like, I think he's really a
He
really
was
intriguing player. And like,
he was playing at 280 until last year.
I know, and that's also why I think the Bucks are gonna like him, because he's got that like just unique body type where they could just put him wherever. And like I think he's a good pass rusher. Like he has a nice bag of tools to work with, and like I think he's worth taking in the first. But I honestly think his age is going to push him down. Like I don't think he's going to be a top 15 pick. I part of me thinks he's going to end up going lower. So
I just listened to Daniel Jeremiah say that teams aren't concerned about his age.
I mean that makes 32 of us, I guess. I don't know. Like
I'm just
I just don't love the value here. This is just like, once again, this is a really bad spot for the Bucks. Like there's not, the value doesn't align with pick number. Like that's the
the,
hard part.
the only player out there that I could see a team just being absurdly high on because of the talent that's out there is Tyson, but he's an injury
It's
risk.
Tyson or Sadiq. Like if you really want that freak tight end, but nobody trades up for those guys. Like that's the thing.
Yeah,
So I don't know. It's a weird. Like once again, I don't hate Mesidor. I think he's a good pass rusher. I just don't think like the NFL like doesn't really trend that way for like pass rushers usually. So I don't know how it's gonna go.
I like Mesidor going at 15 a hell of a lot more than I've seen like Falk going there as like a.
Don't even start me on that.
Like, you want to just replace Logan Hall with a first round pick? Sure.
I mean, you want to have four sacks? Do you want 4 sacks? You can get 4 sacks. I don't
I
want
think
4
Falk
sacks.
is closer to like it feels like
He's a 5 tech.
Yeah, it feels like what's his name all over again, where he's got no production from last year. The hell is the Cincinnati guy? God damn it!
Fucking Shamar Stewart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
dude. Like
it's gonna take until he's Mesidor's age to be productive in the NFL.
all
Like,
these pass rushers that are available right now, like I think Mesidor is the best one by far.
There's one other pass rusher that I would think about along with Mesidor, but he's probably not going to go until the mid-second round. But I've got him way up.
Okay, so I'm very interested to hear who that is later, but let's keep it moving. All right, so I got the Jets at pick 16. I'm going to go Tyson here. I think.
Oh wow.
I think he's the best receiver in the draft now that I've watched the tape. Like I think he's maybe he's my favorite, but the guy has size. He's extremely productive last year when he played and the year before. Guy runs sick fucking routes. He looks like an alpha one. He feels like an alpha one. And he's got that fucking dog in him. So like I I'm a huge fan of Tyson. Once again, his whole thing is injuries. I really like if he wasn't injured, I think he's clearly the number one receiver and he's going in the top 10. But I just don't see that. I don't see that with the injuries right now.
That's fair. Injuries, I think.
I love Lemon
There's,
too.
yeah, I mean, Mekhi Lemon's my number one receiver.
He's
So,
special.
but
He's a special
there's
player.
not a, yeah, he's good. I mean, Tate is good. Like, they're
He is
all
good too.
quality receivers. There's not a superstar in this draft to me, like, or at least I don't think there is. I don't know. But um, Tyson, there's a route where he ends up being Jerry Judy to me, which scares me a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see where you'd say that.
But that and the injuries pushed him out a little bit. But he definitely, I think he has the highest ceiling.
Yeah, like if you
Sure.
told me like which one of these guys in a few like in 3 or 4 years has like a shot to be like a top 10, 15 dynasty wide receiver, like I think Tyson and Lemon would
Yep.
be the two that I would pick probably. So,
Agreed. Yeah.
But once again, like he's also fits a body type that they kind of need in New York too, like kind of a bigger X type of receiver to go with Garrett Wilson. So I just think it's like a good fit overall. Terrible for fantasy, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, move along. We got the Lions at 17, Sean.
Yeah.
Board
I'm gonna
didn't
take
fall great for them.
I think I'm gonna take Caden Proctor. I think he just
Yeah.
screams Tim Campbell to me.
Yep. I mean, he's like that like giant project. I mean, apparently his off the field stuff is wild. So we'll have to see, but they love
Yeah,
these kind of
Lions
guys.
do like high character guys, but they've taken a lot of Bama players too, so that pipeline is deep.
That guy's
I
huge, by
just
the way.
yeah, and he
Have
could
you
kick in.
seen how big that guy is?
He could kick into guard if they needed him to too.
That'd be the biggest guard in NFL history.
Yeah, crazy.
6'7", 366. I actually read something that his sophomore year he played at 400.
That's too much.
Like that's crazy. That's absurd. Like how do you get past the guy?
Yeah,
6'7", 400.
I think the NFL is higher on him than PFF is.
I think so. I think so too. I think like size, speed, athleticism. Like somebody will take the shot.
He was getting dunked on for that Florida State game last year, and he just kept improving throughout the rest of the year. And I think people just kind of stopped paying attention because Simpson got hurt.
Yeah, like Bama just kind of fell off the radar, and yeah, that makes sense. All right, 18. I have the Vikings.
I mean,
Kind of
layup to me, but
I is your layup Thieneman? Because I feel like it's,
yeah,
like the obvious Harrison Smith replacement. It
what is
just
that
makes
supposed
way
to
too
mean?
much sense. Yeah, exactly. The exciting whites back there. Yeah, I think Thieneman has a real shot to be really good. So I kind of like that for them. And that brings us to the Panther 19.
Yeah, I mean this is Sadiq all day to me.
You really so sense. I thought about this one hard today. I was like the Panthers quietly don't have a ton of needs. Like they've done a really good job of just kind of like filling the spots they needed to fill, and you can kind of just do whatever here.
Yeah, I mean, Ike Kongwu is tore his patellar, but they signed what's his name from the Packers, a left tackle.
Oh, Jenkins?
No.
Fuck
the other one.
the other one. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know what you're talking about.
So they could use maybe like a younger tackle or guard at some point, but I don't think that needs to be in the first round for them. I just think getting another playmaker and just getting them out there because, I mean, their tight end room has never been. I mean, it's been bad since.
Yeah.
I don't even know when.
Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
That was the last good one. Like then it was like maybe Tommy Tremble would be good, maybe Jatavion Sanders would be good. That hasn't really worked out.
Yeah. Can I interest you in Vernon Davis Jr.?
Yeah. That's basically. I think. Yeah, I like. He's the craziest athlete we've seen in a long time at tight end. We'll put it that way. I heard a stat today that his 10-yard split was faster than Deshaun Jackson's. And that blew my mind. I was like, that is absolutely insane. So anyway, we got pick 20 Cowboys here. I think this is a layup CJ Allen pick personally. They really need linebackers. They really need a corner. They get Delane and Allen in the same draft. I think that's just a huge win for them.
Yeah, I love linebacker in the second round, but the Cowboys do not have a second rounder, so I think that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and Allen is just like, from what I understand and like some of the people I've listened to and trust, like he's like one of those just mega minds in the middle of a defense, just super cerebral, super smart, and like, and he's a day one middle linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, Steelers.
Against Steelers. I'm not taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the whole city just wants to see uh in the backup quarterback play.
Yeah, Will
So
Howard, yeah.
which is nuts.
I mean, I would like to see it for galactic purposes, but
Yeah, I mean Aaron Rodgers is going to play next year. He's going to be on the Steelers next year.
he'll be there.
If he's not there, it's going to be Kirk Cousins. One of the two of them is going
Yeah,
to start.
I feel like at some point that's gonna have to iron itself out.
I think
It's a weird spot for them though.
they could use an offensive lineman. They've got three very good ones, and then two. They lost Sam Alou, and then Broderick Jones has been not great. So
Yeah, I
I
thought they
think
were a big Proctor team.
the defense doesn't really need a whole lot,
They're pretty good in the
really.
secondary.
So I'm gonna take Blake Miller, just day one quality starter at tackle.
Yeah, he just seems like kind of a ho hum pick. It's like, yeah, you'll just throw him in there and you don't have to worry about him too much. Like he's not gonna get.
That'll really get because the Steelers are hosting the draft. That'll really get the people going.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be like one of those ones. Like, come on. Uh, yeah, I understand it, but all right, we got the Chargers at 22. Interesting draft spot for them because the board didn't fall totally their way. Um, they really could use a lineman. There's not really any good ones around right now. I like Pregnon a lot, but I just think it's too high for him.
This could be a trade down team. They don't have a lot of picks.
What is anybody trading up for though?
Uh,
I don't feel like there's anybody really like standing out to me.
I see a guy that I could see the Bills and or Pats trade up for because I think this guy is going to go a lot higher than people think in the draft.
All right. Well, if you have a trade up in mind, let's do that.
Okay, let's move the Pats from 31 to 22.
Okay. And then we'll say they get like a.
We're only doing first round mock, so fuck it, just put in whatever you want to.
Yeah, it
That looks
doesn't really
good.
matter. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Okay.
All right, and then we're. Do you want me to make the pick, or do you?
Yeah, just go ahead and make the pick, and you'll make it the next one as well.
Okay, yeah, they're taking Omar Cooper Jr. 22.
Okay, see that's an interesting, like, great talking point on this one too. Everything that I've read and have seen Charlie write is that almost all the teams view him as a second or third round pick. So like that would be a lot higher than I would expect at this point. But is it just you really like him in that spot, or is that kind of just what you think the teams are going to do?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he's really good. I mean, I think he's a fringe first, second round pick, but I also think there's a very good chance that he would not make it to the Patriots there. And I think they're still looking to improve at the receiver position, even with the Dobbs trade. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that need a receiver coming up here as we get closer to the end of this first round as well. That he probably wouldn't have made it down to the second round. So,
and he's a guy that's just he's gonna do something with the ball once he catches it, and that's just not something that's on the Patriots team right now.
No, I guess really the only thing that like kind of concerns me, like I think he can play inside and out. It's just a matter of like how teams view him. Like, is he going to be a slot guy only, or is he going to do a little everything? Or that's the question I have with him. Is I think he's very talented. He's got that dog in him, which I really appreciate. So this is an interesting landing spot. That's a really crowded room in.
It was last year too.
Yeah, it just nothing really nothing happened. It's like very, very strange. But it'll be interesting for our first round mock here we do in a little bit. So interesting. Okay, so pick again then for the Eagles and we'll keep it going.
Oh my god, you gave me the Eagles too? Oh no.
Hey,
Fuck.
It's a
Go
tough
back to
spot for
the.
them.
You go back to tackles. Fucking.
I think I don't know how to say his last name, but I think the Arizona State tackle is going to go in the first.
That's who I've been sending to them if
Also, have you
Proctor
seen how
gets.
big Markel Bell is?
He's fucking huge.
He's as big as Proctor. He's gigantic. He's like 6'10".
Got the implanted theory over there.
Dude, they got
Yeah,
some big old guys in this
I'll
draft.
take I'll take Ihanacher
Okay,
for
is
the
that how you
Eagles.
say it? That's
I
brand
think
new.
so. Yeah, nice,
Ihanacher.
perfect 1 year sit behind Lane Johnson, let him retire, and then we get another fucking athlete at right tackle.
He's special as an athlete. I watched a little bit of his tape, and I was like, damn, this guy's a fucking ball player.
They're definitely on the board for edge as well, but I think they're gonna trade for Grenard. So
Yeah, that would make sense to me. They kind of need to do something on the edge. All right, so I pick for the Browns. They took Freeling at 9.
this is another receiver team, I think.
This is a
right?
receiver team, and I'm gonna pick the receiver that kind of just they just I don't know. Like I could go either way with this. I think Boston is like quietly a first round receiver. Like I don't love it, but I think this is like what would the Browns do? Like I think this is the Browns player right here. I think this is something they would do. He like profiles as the one a little better maybe than Concepcion. Um, so I'm gonna pick Boston there. I don't love it for really anybody involved. So it just doesn't feel good, but they really need a receiver. So
Yeah, no,
it's gonna be a messy first round mock.
I think I think that is I think that would be just terrible for the Browns if they took.
But I could see it. I could see it.
I think Denzel Boston's closer to a third round grade for me than a first. So
yeah, like
I just don't see it. But
there's something about his tape that doesn't feel good. I don't like it's just there's something missing, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Like he doesn't separate that well. Like
his career yards ran against zone defense is awful.
I don't love that.
And putting him on a team with Jerry Jeudy, whose career yards against a zone defense is awful, just
yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know how much better he would be than like Cedric Tillman.
I don't really see a big difference. I think I would have gone with Concepcion there, but
just for some juice.
Yeah,
for some jam.
So. Just a little sizzle,
some pepper.
Wake up the sleepyheads in Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still think Boston's gonna go between like this and like the end of the first, maybe early second.
The only team, if he were to go in the late first at this point, that I would actually like, it would kind of get me intrigued, would be Kansas City. But
yeah, see, like Kansas City, and then like maybe long term, like the 49ers, like kind of would be interesting.
Yeah. I would like that too. Who loved it? I mean, he's a little baby Mike Evans out there.
A little bit, yeah.
But I mean, Kansas City just doesn't have a guy that'll win man coverages on the outside. Like it just that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, the Browns are going to pick a receiver here one way or another. So
true that. All right, Chicago. They just need somebody big in the middle of their defense, I think. So we'll go with Cade McDonald. I think that makes sense. They just need to stop the run.
That. Yeah, he's pretty damn good. All right, Bills are up. Once again, like kind of board is interesting for them, not great. I've seen a lot of McNeil Warren to them.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that I would love for them right here, but if they were picking at like 40.
Yeah, like it's like you're gonna reach a little now. I think
get real redundant and take Concepcion here.
I kind of thought about it. Yeah, like I thought about it. I was like, we just keep flooding the position a little bit, but there's so many other guys. Like, it seems like a little early to do that. I'm just gonna take McNeil Warren. Let's just get better on defense.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I think edge could also go there. Also makes sense. All right. San Francisco. I'll make this one quick. I'm just gonna take Lomu as a long-term replacement for Trent.
Okay. Yeah, they need a tackle for sure. This is a team that really needs offensive line as well.
Do they?
I mean, maybe not as much anymore.
Our lads, they've signed like 6 offensive line.
They've definitely flooded the position.
Now, are they great? I couldn't
They're not
tell you.
very good.
Well, I can pull up. Oh, let me tell you their starting offensive lineman right now.
Because I have one guy in mind at offensive line, but it's kind of the
Ariante
last of.
Ursery at left tackle. They just signed Wyatt Teller, Jake
That's an
Andrews,
interesting one.
Ed Ingram got a bag, and then they've
Okay.
got Braden Smith and Trent Brown at right tackle. So they don't need.
Not awful. Okay, that's interesting. Let's maybe go.
I think they just need another Caden McDonald. McDonald could go here too.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like Banks maybe. Banks or Woods.
Yeah. I think Woods been more of the consensus for them, but I think you go.
I also really like Lee Hunter. I'm a big Lee Hunter guy.
Yeah, talk about a guy who's gonna stop the run. That dude's
guy's a plug.
Nick.
6'4", 3'3", just standing. A little Vince Wilfork action in there. Maybe I'll just rip Lee Hunter here. Fuck. Live a little. I'll take it. Fuck it. I'll do it. Lee Hunter. I like the guy.
All right, we're in Kansas City. Who did we take for Kansas City? That was the trade up.
They traded up for Arvell Reese.
Spicy. I don't think I've seen Reese to the.
He just doesn't make it that far usually.
Okay, so they need that.
They need a corner.
They do need a corner, except they develop corners in the mid rounds because Spector was insane. He's
a lot of good corner choices.
Somehow, still remains like an underrated coach in the NFL. I don't know how.
Yeah.
God, they could. I know it's crazy, but they could really use a receiver because Rice is just trying to he's just playing again. How fast can I get kicked out of the NFL?
Dude, like Omar Cooper to the Chiefs would be hot.
Yeah, once again, like I said,
that would be a fun one.
Can you go to receiver real quick? God, I wish he didn't tear his ACL. Chris Bell would be fucking.
Yeah, he's a fun receiver.
I think he would have been a late first rounder if he didn't get hurt.
He's another guy. I think I
just don't think it makes sense. So, damn.
I don't think really.
Yeah, there's not really a team to trade into the end of the first round to take Simpson either from there.
I like Concepcion, but I don't know if he's a great fit.
It's just another of the same guy.
Yeah.
Let's just do this. Let's just take Avion Terrell.
I think that
guy deserves to go in the first round because he's sick.
I honestly think he's
still.
Oh, yeah, he is, but he blew ACL. But
oh yeah, he's gonna get the
he's gonna get the Benjamin Morrison discount.
Yeah. Let's go Terrell then. Terrell's a fucking.
Terrell's the best one in the draft anyway. I just love
him. You like him that much? Size?
I think he's a top 15 pick personally. But
you think he can play outside?
I think he can. My problem I have with him is he doesn't ever pick off the ball, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Just like brother.
Yeah.
He does not pick off the ball at all. So.
Yeah, Terrell's going in the first round. I would be shocked.
I'd be very surprised if he did not go in the first. Then we have the Dolphins, who probably should just be taking Jermod McCoy and getting a DB at this point.
You say that.
I say that.
But trenches. Toolsy big trenches.
Well, we just took a Toolsy big trenches guy with Fano.
Yeah, no, we need a big guy on the other side.
I see what you're saying. So you have tools.
You want to talk about who do you think a player comp for Keldrick Falk would be, and Logan who got drafted by the Packers a few years ago?
Logan Hall. No, sorry. Oh, I just can't stop. Dude, I don't want a pass rusher to have 2 sacks when I draft him. I just don't want it. I don't want it. I don't care what he did last year. I want to see this is not the number I want to see. He had 1 hit. 1. Not enough.
My player.
You're going to the Dolphins. Enjoy Miami. That's it.
My comp for him is 100% Lucas Van Ness for Falk.
A lot of tools.
Just tools. Vince is gonna love that one. Sorry, Vince.
I really think they need to take they got to get somebody in the secondary there, especially with the people that were available. But I get
if it were me and McCoy was there, I would take him because a healthy McCoy is probably the CB1 in this class.
He's very good. Yeah. That's fine.
That's not how it goes.
That's not how it played out here. Congrats, you get Logan.
All right, the Chargers traded down. Let's take what I would do. What I would do is take Pregnon here.
I would take Pregnon higher personally. I like him.
Yeah, just haven't seen him make it to the first round yet, anywhere.
He's been getting into this range more now, I've
Yeah.
noticed. So because there's a lot of teams that kind of like need that.
Mm.
All right, then the Seahawks at 32.
They could also use a corner.
They could use a corner, and like they kind of have the luxury to just take a guy like McCoy and just be like, "Fuck it, we'll see what we get."
True. Yeah. I think this is why I think Avion Terrell is going to make it in the first round, because I think he just screams Seattle to me.
He really does. That's a really good fit for him, actually. Okay, so here's our first round mock. This is what we're going to use for our first round mock for the dynasty draft. So we'll start here. Sean, if you don't mind, on your computer or phone, could you pull up like the draft order? Because like when I do a mock on here, it doesn't like show me. Like I know it's Dustin, James, Dan.
Yeah,
Justin.
I got it up.
Yes, if you got it, yeah. Let's see. How about I do the odds and you do the even? So I'll pick first
I can pick for you.
for Dustin, and that's an obvious one, so we'll just let that one rip. Adam Randall it is. All right. So we have Jeremiah Love going first. I mean, if he goes to Tennessee, he's going to be the guy. If he's a top 4 pick, you have to take him. Like, I don't really see any way that he's not the number 1 pick at this point. So,
no, I would be shocked.
I don't even think there's any real discussion there.
Yeah. Based off of where the 3 receivers fell, so the Jets.
Yeah, I can show you again here.
Placed into the Jets, right?
So we had Carnell Tate to the Saints. We had Mekhi Lemon to the Rams. We had Jordan Tyson to the Jets, and Mekhi. Or what was the other one we were looking for? Or was that it?
The 3 was Tate, Lemon, and Tyson.
Yeah.
Based off of that, I'm probably going Tate at 2, just tied with a quarterback that is gonna be there. Stafford, I mean, you still get McVay though. Fuck.
Also, Tate is the highest like picked guy if that matters to you.
Yeah, we'll go with Tate.
I mean, like I feel like a lot of that is going to be landing spot, because like a lot of these guys kind of are in that same bucket. And then who picks 3? Is it Dan? Not that it matters too much here.
Yes, Dan's a 3.
Okay, so I would imagine Dan would take one of these other receivers as well, and I would imagine it'd be Lemon, just based on the landing spots. So let's go with Lemon here at 3, and that leads us to 4,
which is Justin. What a perfect landing spot for Jordan Tyson to land on Justin's team.
Yeah. Dude, like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
get ready to learn hamstring injury, bro.
Yeah, he's so injured all the time. I love him, but he's so injured all the time. Do you consider anybody else here?
No.
Based on the landing spots, not at all.
Landing zone, landing and upside, it's Tyson. It's
all right. Tyson is. Let's see, ADP Tyson. All right, and that brings us to James' pick here, and this is where it gets a little interesting. So it's based on our draft. All the big 3 receivers are off the board and Love. So that brings you into the next grouping of players, which is like Sadiq, Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston, and there were no other skill players taken at this point. So like also like you would, depending on landing spots, you could also consider like Concepcion in the second round, probably, like some of these other guys.
We can randomly, we could just arbitrarily put 2 of the running backs in the second round if you want, just to be.
Yeah, like I think we should put Price in the second, probably, based on.
We could put Price on Minnesota, and we can put Washington on Seattle, and
yeah, that's fair.
That way, if you want.
Sure.
I think those are realistic landing spots for both those guys. So.
Okay, so and both get second round capital in that scenario. That being said, I feel like this has got to come down to like the first round capital players, probably here at 5. James historically hates tight ends. I don't feel like Sadiq is a huge like draw for James here. I also think he knows how bad the Browns are and wouldn't take Boston. Omar Cooper to the Patriots. Crowded room. It's like this is kind of like a huge drop off to me. Man, Jadarian Price to the Vikings, like that kind of makes some sense, but that's awful high considering the draft capital of these other guys. Let's fuck around a little bit. Let's go Sadiq here. Fuck it. Let's do it. Because it's good, at least from a talking point standpoint, because if he goes this high, there's, at least most of the time in our drafts, first round Titans go, generally speaking, like the early second-ish. Like obviously last year we had both Warren and Loveland go in top of the second round in our actual draft. It was a deep draft though at running back, and it also, in addition to that, neither one of them were the athletic freak that Sadiq is, where Sadiq has the tools to be a special receiving player potentially. Also, the way the board's fallen, like there's a lot of question marks with some of these other guys. Like Boston and Cleveland doesn't feel great. We don't. Concepcion, I guess, would go in the second round here. Jadarian Price, like I don't know how much you really consider those guys with that capital, a late second capital. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in. I think right here at 5, 6, 7, you're kind of in a tough spot. So that figure out who to take from me, Sean, because I don't know who I'm taking.
I mean, for me, it's probably Cooper because of draft capital, and I think he's just. I mean, you landed with
He's
Drake
a good
May.
player.
Yeah, you're landing with Drake May, so you get the best situation.
Yeah, I think especially out of him in Boston, I think that's the safer play there. All right. Let's see if he's not even on the ADP list. What the hell? There he is. All right. So who is 7 then?
It's Dustin.
All right. So one of Dustin's 78 picks in this draft. All right. So he took Love, and this is his second first round pick. Does he have? He has 10 as well. So it's basically Dustin, Dan, Dustin to finish this first round. I know Dustin's a big draft capital guy, so I feel like this would be the Boston spot based on draft capital. So we'll just go with that. And then that brings us to 2 back-to-back Dan picks.
That's me taking the evens. Okay.
Yeah.
Dan took.
He already took Lemon.
Kyle Lemon. So I mean, Dan's just a BPA guy anyway. Like, he's gonna take whoever he thinks is the best player.
Well, he has to be at this point. The team needs a lot of help. So.
Even when his teams were good, I think he always just took who he thought was the best player. So BPA on the board. Let's go with Price.
All right. So Price on the Vikings. And then that'll bring him to 1-9, which feels like a tough spot based on. I think at this point we've taken all the first round capital players.
I believe so.
So I think the logical next guys to come off the board at the receiver position are probably KC, Concepcion, some combination of like Concepcion, Bell, Jeremy Bernard, like guys like that, probably. I'll take Concepcion because I think he's going to get pretty high second round capital.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a very good chance to go in the first round.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he went in the first. So that brings us to Dustin at 110 then. Who he's already taken Love. He has taken Boston. And now he has 110. And a bazillion second round picks.
Yeah, for real.
He's got 110 and 2-1 if that changes anything on your end, but
I mean, not really. Let's let's just take the other running back. We'll just take Washington just because it's a player that we've named so far.
Yeah, and we know where he's landed basically, so that makes sense. All right, so that's good. All right, so there's your first round. It's gonna be an interesting. I feel like the landing spots are gonna have a huge effect on the receivers specifically. Um,
Oh yeah.
I also think like if the one of those other running backs, the Price with the Washingtons of the world, get a surprise shitty landing spot, it's gonna make this draft even harder because like those are with very good landing spots. Like let's say like Price goes to like a committee backfield situation like that really that's going to hurt the end of this first round for sure. And also like once again, even if Sadiq didn't go 5, um, it feels like based on talent and draft capital, he's probably going to be a first rounder this year in this year's draft, at least for the rookie draft. I'd be pretty surprised if he fell into the second.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a lot more to discuss with the draft that we'll get into obviously in future weeks. I definitely want Charlie on again, ask some questions to him too once we get a little bit closer. But hopefully this was a good episode for y'all. We got a lot in this episode. We did a lot of free agency, a lot of draft, 2 mocks. We'll definitely do some more of these as we get closer. But also wanted to quickly mention the draft day and time. So we are going to do a Saturday live draft that we will have a decent, I think half of the league will be together in Arizona. And then the other half is said they will be available basically for the first 3 rounds. We will do live. And then once we get into the 4th round, we will then revert to a slow draft. So ideally, everybody's, available and online. We could just keep rolling and get all 7 rounds done that night. If not a big deal, but we definitely want to get through 3 rounds by the end of Saturday night. So that's the goal. There'll be 10-minute picks like we used to do. And that should allow for enough time for trading and whatnot. But I think it'll be fun. We haven't ever done a draft on the same day as the draft closing, so that should be exciting. So there should be a lot of fun to get some people together to do that. We'll also have some sort of Discord call set up as well. I'll make sure that we have a computer or something available so we can get everybody up on maybe another TV for discussion live as the draft happens as well. So be looking forward to that. And of course, like if you need accommodations on that Saturday, need a little bit of time extra on your pick because you're not available or something, just let us know and we'll try to work with you on that. But it seemed like most people were going to be available for the first 3 rounds. So really looking forward to that. And Sean, anything else before we close out this episode?
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
2 hours.
It was a banger podcast. We had a lot to cover this time, but we'll do at least a few more before the draft gets here. If you have any ideas for the pod, send them in. Let me know. But until next time, we will see you on the